tell me.
He seemed fine at his press conference.
That sounds perfect for The
It
Walking
sounds
Dead.
fine, yeah.
Demi Moore posted to Instagram on Saturday in celebration of her ex-husband Bruce Willis's birthday.
These are guys that I think dance around getting back together. Remember, they were together for like a good portion of the pandemic.
Yeah.
They were living together.
Yep. In the photo, she shared, Moore is standing she is standing next to Willis holding a cutting board full of mushrooms.
How hot.
And she wrote, "Happy birthday, Bruce. Thankful for a blended family," she wrote in the caption. So, I guess they get along swimmingly.
They apparently do.
Yeah. People has reported that after 31 years on the air, Maury's talk show is coming to a close. Maury Povich. Yep. Original episodes are set to air through September, and the show will live on in syndication in the future. Maury Povich told TV Line in a statement, 6 years ago when I was ready to retire, my NBC Universal family asked me to continue the show. Even though I told them I was ready for assisted living, out of loyalty to NBC Universal and my more than 100 staff and crew members, Tracy Wilson and I agreed to one more deal. And
my God.
He said, "I'm so proud of my relationship with NBC Universal and all those who worked on the Maury Show, but as I occasionally tell my guests, enough already."
I happened to catch a full Maury episode. It was about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I rarely pop on the set in the afternoon, but I did. And, of course, wall-to-wall paternity tests.
Yes.
And him pretending he's not disgusted by all these people. But, yeah, it was fun.
Dude, he's 83 years old.
I know. And
83
sharp,
years
man.
old and still doing that show.
Paternity tests.
And so I guess he wanted to hang it up a little while back, but maybe they chucked a few more bucks at him and said, "Come on," and he decided to stick it out. But 83, yeah, dude, relax. Go ahead, chill. But then again, maybe you just love to work.
Well, my guess is, believe it or not, it won't be a full retirement. I think he's going to come back with another show.
You think so?
I think so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll have to see what happens. So the house used in the film Scarface is up for sale, and it can be yours for the bargain price of $39 million and change.
And it's really, if we were to pull some of our Bassett's money.
Yes, all that money we made off the ice cream.
I think we could. I'll tell you this, though, Preston. It's great that it looks like the way you want it to look.
It looks exactly like it did in the movie. So all I have is the description of the listing, and here it is. Few properties capture the imagination like El Fureidis. How do you pronounce this? Fureidis.
You got me.
Fureidis, I guess. Maybe that's a play off of the word fire. I'm not sure. El Fureidis. This globally inspired, remarkable architectural achievement has ruled over a century of seasons in the heart of Montecito, designed by Bertram Goodhue. El Fureidis.
It means little paradise in Arabic.
Okay. Is exceptional. Layered gardens over the 10-acre grounds include a remarkable range of specimen trees, effusing grandeur and a romantic sense of time and place. Goodhue's design pairs a classic Roman villa with Persian water gardens, beautifully blurring form and flora with,
blah, blah, blah.
with the land. Einstein, Churchill, and JFK all spent time at the estate.
They spent a long weekend together.
Which is notably featured in the movie Scarface.
Hey, let's get some poontang.
Despite its history and celebrity at its core, El Fureidis is a truly livable residence with beautiful spaces for everything from epic entertaining to everyday intimacies and luxurious serenity.
It is magnificent. We're looking at what I assume is the pool, unless that is a fountain. You always run the risk of these high-level estates of accidentally swimming in a fountain.
Yes. Yeah. It's hard to say what is what. So, speaking of movies and well-known residences, The Godfather obviously has some of those in their films. So, the 50th anniversary of the Francis Ford Coppola masterpiece has resurrected the negative opinion of one influential critic, and that is Frank Sinatra. So this story has come back to light. The chairman of the board was not a fan of The Godfather, an opinion Sinatra made abundantly clear as Mario Puzo's 1969 novel was being adapted for film. And in a legendary blow-up, it happened at Hollywood eatery Chasen's. Sinatra had snarled, "Choke, go ahead and choke at Puzo, who was taking a meal break from writing the film's screenplay.
Yeah.
The infamous confrontation sparked the imagination of Michael Tolkien, creator of The Offer, which is the new Paramount Plus series coming out on April 28th about the making of The Godfather, which features a recreation of this little fracas in it.
I'm so looking forward to this series.
So Tolkien said, the only story I knew about making The Godfather was that Mario Puzo had, or do you say Puzo? Puzo. Had gotten into a fight with Frank Sinatra at Chasen's. And he said, so I have 5 minutes in the show written, and I just needed 9 hours and 55 minutes more to fill it in. Sinatra's vocal rebuke simmered for years. In many ways, Sinatra loomed over the Godfather production from afar, said Mark Seal, who was the author of Leave the Gun, Take the Cannoli, which is about the making of the film. Sinatra partly owned the Las Vegas Sands Hotel, where Puzo researched his novel on the mob. Even before the book came out, Puzo's publisher received a letter from Sinatra's lawyers demanding to see the manuscript. And the publishers politely refused the request. When The Godfather was published, many assumed the novel's central Johnny Fontaine character, a hard-drinking, womanizing, past his prime crooner who turns to The Godfather to revive his career with a movie role. They thought maybe it was modeled after Sinatra.
That is the legendary story, is that the mob interceded to get Frank Sinatra, his career was on the skids, and help get him the role in From Here to Eternity, which eventually won him an Oscar.
Wow. Puzo wrote, when making the movie, the Paramount legal team showed concern about the possibility of being sued by Sinatra. The simmer boiled over at Chasen's when Puzo ran into Sinatra, an entertainer he referred to as an idol from afar. And Puzo was dining with Godfather producer Al Ruddy. Sinatra greeted John Wayne in the room. They both looked absolutely great, better than on screen. 20 years younger, Puzo had written.
You know, John Wayne was supposed to originally be Fredo. And
shut up.
I'm very smart.
Yeah.
Smarter than you.
Another well-connected diner insisted on introducing Puzo to Sinatra, and it went south quickly, with Sinatra saying, I don't want to meet him. After the two approached his table, Puzo apologized, saying, listen, it wasn't my idea, which Sinatra assumed was a reference to the Fontaine character.
Get away from me.
Man, he's upset.
Yeah. Sinatra started to shout abuse.
I don't want to talk.
Thank you. And threatened to beat him, by the way. So
I want to fight you. I will go back to that wall with the three of you.
Wow. All three is 1, 2, 3.
And Puzo wrote, what hurt was he was a Northern Italian threatening me, a Southern Italian, with physical violence. Puzo called it roughly equivalent to Einstein pulling a knife on Al Capone.
By myself, I'll take you physically.
Puzo died in 1999, left without incident, but Ruddy gives a more vivid account. He said, there are two waiters holding Mario back. They dragged Puzo out. Ruddy said that he noted that Puzo was upset afterward. In the house where I grew up, my mother had two pictures in the kitchen, one of the Pope and one of Sinatra. And the fact that Frank Sinatra doesn't like me or would think that I would do anything to hurt him breaks my heart, he had said.
Well, yeah. So, you know, there was always the rumor with Frank and is it a rumor? I think it's pretty much a fact that he was, had a lot of friends in the mob. But I saw Mario Puzo used to come into the bookstore that I worked at, and he would. That would be along the line of Sunrise Highway, Kathy. Out to the Hamptons and Montauk, and he would come in, a little dude, and he came in one day, and I recognized him immediately. I'm like, oh my God, the Godfather! And how are you, Mr. Puzo? And
that's
he was
great.
very nice, but he was a small dude. In a fist fight, I think Frank would have kicked his ass.
Right.
Yeah.
So was he picking up books? Was he buying some stuff? That's cool, man. So anyhow, this little blow up is going to be featured in The Offer when that comes out in April, which should be pretty cool.
So Robert
You're
Evans,
a coward.
He is a coward. Robert Evans had a documentary about his life and the making of the Godfather movies, and that alone is fascinating. So it sounds like this is going to be great.
Yep, absolutely.
But you don't have the courage.
I'll take you out to that. See that wall over there? That's a retaining wall. I'm talking about the wall to the left of that.
You're less than a man.
All right.
It looks more like lattice.
And then one last story, a particularly prized copy of the first ever Marvel comic book fetched more than $2.4 million in an online auction on Friday. Known as Marvel Comics' #1 pay copy. It's arguably one of the top 3 comic books in the world of comic collecting, said Vincent Zurzolo, the chief operating officer of Comic Connect. The auctioneer sold the book Thursday for $2.4 million.
$2.4 million.
Yep, the buyer's name has not been disclosed. He is an extremely passionate comic book collector and investor who also collects other items.
I wonder if it's something within the Marvel, somebody within the Marvel family, like Kevin Feige or somebody, or like Robert Downey.
Right. In 1939, Marvel Comics #1 introduced characters including Submariner and the original Human Torch, precursor of the character of the same name that was later a member of the Marvel's Fantastic Four.
I always loved Submariner. Were you a Submariner fan?
Yeah.
He was like a darker Aquaman, a more pissed off Aquaman.
Namu, wasn't that his name?
Namor, Prince Namor.
That's it, yeah. The book launched what became the Marvel Universe of comics, movies, TV shows, and more. So this was a big one. So $2.4 million.
Jeez.
All right, we're ready for the clips here, gang. Amy Schumer stars as Beth in the new show Life and Beth. And in this clip, she explains the different evolutions throughout the show.
You know, this show looks at a bunch of different evolutions, and one of those is definitely in your relationship to your mom as a human, and like forgiveness, and that's a huge part of the show for sure.
Oh, mama!
Life and Beth can be streamed on Hulu. Here's the next one. House of the Dragon is the prequel to the hit HBO series Game of Thrones. Matt Smith explains the most difficult part of playing Prince Daemon Targaryen.
I spoke to kind of Amelia about that years ago. And she's like, God, I have to go through like an hour and a half every day of putting the wig on. And it's a lot, So I didn't see the wig coming, but it looks really cool. So that's something.
What the hell are you talking about?
House of the Dragon will premiere later this year on HBO.
You excited?
Yes, because I want to get back into that world again. I still have plenty of Game of Thrones T-shirts.
You get to wear them.
I can't bring myself to throw them out, but they're just not worth wearing right now.
Right.
And so for that reason, I would like to see more. And plus, I just love it. And I hope they do the writing proper and it will bring me back into the world because I really miss watching that. I really loved it. I watched the whole thing 3 times through.
When you're immersed, there you get it's separation anxiety when you end up a show that has been woven into the fabric of your existence.
Dude, it was
for a
8
period of time.
seasons,
I know. And it pisses you off.
And
where do you go?
It's gone. It's gone. So yeah, and you can watch it again, which I did, but that only goes so far. So I want more of the story. So hopefully this will be as great as the original was. All right, and that's it. It's our entertainment report
Done
for this Monday morning. Sunshine today, beautiful day, 66 degrees. We're off to a gorgeous sunrise as we begin. We got some guests on the program. Michael Yo will be joining us. We got a concert announcement. We'll take a break and come back in just a moment. So hang close, please.
Preston and Steve on 93.3
Will it be fast food or fancy food?
Schnitzel.
Schnitzel?
Yeah.
Do you like schnitzel?
It's not bad. It's it's good. I mean, it's not great, but yum. Yeah. It'll do it.
Is that what Christoph Waltz is eating during Inglourious Bastards?
No, that's strudel.
Strudel, okay. Because I love me some strudel.
Schnitzel is very sweet.
Do you know what schnitzel is?
Is it? No. Is it a baked good? Is it a salty baked good?
It's pork.
Oh, then no.
Fried pork.
Okay.
Essentially, it's like a fried pork tenderloin, so it's not anything like a strudel.
I don't like it much. Yeah.
You don't like schnitzel?
Nah, I'm not a big schnitzel guy.
I mean, I like it. It's good enough. So anyhow, Schnitzel Fest event in Bavaria, Germany, apparently used 400 pork chops, 4,000 eggs, 551 pounds of breadcrumbs to create a giant schnitzel. And the resulting schnitzel is 2,663 pounds.
Wow. People must have been schnitting for weeks after.
That's good, dude.
You knew it was coming.
I just took a hairy schnit.
753.5 square feet is how big it is.
Wow.
I've had schnitzel in Germany, in Munich. We were having dinner, and I'm like, how can I not have schnitzel?
If you're going to have schnitzel, you have it there. So what did you think?
It's good. It's not great.
It's not rocking your world.
No, it's good. I'd order it. I've had it at other places as well, too.
It's funny when you have something that you think is authentic and then you later do have the authentic version of something and your opinion of it changes 180%, 180 degrees, I should say.
Organizers say it took nearly 3,700 gallons of oil to fry. A Guinness World Record adjudicator, how do you say that word?
Adjudicator?
Adjudicator, thank you. Was on hand to verify the schnitzel's measurements.
They called me the schnithead.
And certify that it broke the previous record of 1,212 pounds, so it blew that record away. And it was then split up into 4,800 portions and sold to attendees at the festival.
Yes, we put it on a conveyor belt and it comes right out to Schnitthorn.
Keep going. Do more.
What were you going to say? You were going to say something.
Well, so it's just a pork chop, basically?
Yeah, I don't know if it might be the tenderloin case. I'm not 100% sure what part of the pig it is. But yeah, it's like a fried pork chop or a fried tenderloin.
Yeah, I never really cared for pork chops.
Oh, man, I do love pork.
I know, and people, like my father loves them, and I like them only if they are incinerated to the point.
No.
That's the only way I can eat
You got to get them juicy. All right, well, anyhow, they made the biggest one in the world.
What cartoon has a character named Schnitzel?
That was Chowder.
Chowder, that's it.
And
Okay.
Schnitzel would only say rattle, rattle. He never said anything other than that, rattle, rattle.
I was looking for that, and I came across something that says schnit in the bathtub, so I'm going to
Go ahead, let's hear what that is.
I don't know what that is, but...
Oh, no, someone decided to take a shit in the bathtub. Not again.
You know what that was from?
What is that from?
That OxyClean parody. You remember?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
my God, that was funny.
That was very funny.
That was...
Where they add the dialogue.
Just take this effing thing right over here and rip this. Oh, look at that. Someone schnit in the bathtub.
Oh, no, someone decided to take a shit in the bathtub. Not again.
Not again.
I saw this story. I thought this was kind of interesting. A pair of panties belonging to Adolf Hitler's wife, Eva Braun, sold at auction for around $6,000 over the weekend.
Oh, geez.
The pink...
Put on the panties!
Yes, the pink...
The ones that I like, the pink ones!
The pink silk panties, embroidered with Braun's initials, came from a private European World War II collection. They were sold to an anonymous UK telephone bidder.
These are like bloomers.
Who also bought her, you're right, they're huge.
Yeah.
Who also bought her white lace night dress for $5,000. You know there's some guy wearing these things staring in the, in the mirror.
Fatherland!
Yes.
Oh my God! You know, as obviously as staggeringly aberrant as Hitler was, with all of his little things like his all the weird, creepy stuff. Mm-hmm. Him having sex is at the bottom of the list of things I want to think about Hitler doing.
Yeah. Auctioneer Jonathan Humbert said that there was perennial interest in items from the Nazi Germany area. In the same auction, a bracelet presented by Goering's wife, Emmy.
I got you something.
Sold for about $3,000.
Oh, my gosh. He went to Javid.
The gold-plated bracelet dated 1938 has a central locket with a swastika and opens up to reveal a picture of Hitler, of whom Goering was a close confidant, of course. So there was a picture of Hitler in this locket that he gave to her with the bracelet.
That's right there. Too cute to not commit genocide.
Oh, my God. Happy wife, happy life. I actually said that phrase to somebody the other day, a minute, and it's
the truth. Mm-hmm. Honestly, and you know when things, you walk in and you can feel it in the air.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
I know.
Oh no.
And then when I say it's because you're on your period.
Oh my God.
You said that one time and you never said it
Is
again.
it girl things? What did you say?
Oh my God. They turn into Rambo.
Yeah.
They turn into Rambo.
It's gonna get bloody.
I'm
coming for you.
Oh my God. Kathy, what were you going to say? Oh,
having my period, having to use the feminine hygiene products, spitting on us, calling us baby killers.
And we know it. It's so bad. I hate it, but listen,
use it.
I'm an animal.
I do
once a
again.
month.
As I've said, my it's pretty even keel. I don't have the Jekyll and Hyde thing. You know.
No?
Yeah.
God,
Never
you're
had
lucky.
that.
What country was Hawaiian pizza invented? 215-263 WMMR. We will go to Kara and see if she knows the answer. Hey, Kara.
Hey, Gadzooks.
Gadzooks to you, Kara. So, do you know what country Hawaiian pizza was invented in?
Canada.
That's correct.
Yeah. They call that the Big Island, Preston.
Because it used to be, it was pineapple and Canadian bacon, which is essentially ham anyway. But I remember when you first would order, or at least I remember when I first ordered Hawaiian pizza, that it was advertised as pineapple and Canadian bacon.
There you go. Would never have guessed.
It's like a nightmare for me.
I love it.
Really?
The cooked fruit situation for me. It's
yeah,
like
that's
I'm out.
right.
I'm just out.
That's right. Any hot fruit.
Yeah.
There's a band name, Hot Fruit. Damn it. I got to write these down.
Romano, come down and see my new band, Hot Fruit. We sizzle.
We're sick.
They sizzle.
I'm sorry. Did I hear that again?
I'm Captain Romano, come see our new band, Hot Fruit. Boys, we sizzle.
Hot Fruit. All right. Anyhow.
What do we play? I'm interested.
That's a good question.
Nothing but Shania Twain.
All night.
Let's go, girls.
All right.
You want some Hawaiian pizza?
Hot fruit.
And the director, by the way, is a guy named Jim Mickle. He's from Pottstown.
Jim Mickle.
Oh yeah, actually, he did a movie I've mentioned before, a vampire movie, a really good vampire movie called Stakeland.
No kidding.
Yeah, really well done.
Okay.
Kathy just got a message.
Kathy just wants
Everything
to.
okay?
Yeah, she just wants to listen to some music.
Yeah.
Turned over to B101.
Wait, I'm trying to win the
Station I
prize.
really love.
I'm trying to win Richard Marx tickets.
Can you guys be quiet?
Can you guys just take a break for a minute?
My name is RONANO.
Oh my God, thank you. I'm so excited.
I can't. I'm at work.
Yeah, you can't get more excited.
You can't get more excited that you just won tickets. I can't. I'm at work.
I work at WMMR. I do the morning show.
Well, can you go outside and scream?
Kathy at WMMR.com. You can't win this.
You could actually walk one block down and pick up the tickets.
Guys, I'll be right back.
You know what else I noticed?
Ooh.
I noticed.
Just noticed more things.
I noticed that
Not just product renaming.
the Cold War
The Cold War. CW.
could have been a world war.
TCW.
But a cache of Soviet jokes that was compiled by CIA agents during the Cold War has been released among a cache of declassified documents.
Soviet jokes designed for what purpose?
It's hard to say because they mainly make fun of the Soviet Union. So all the jokes were told between Soviets but picked up by CIA operatives before being relayed back to Washington. So
do we believe that perhaps it were American operatives and spies to be armed with these jokes? It might be a way of sort of ingratiating themselves to, in other words, if you could tell a funny Soviet joke to another person.
They're not clear on what the purpose
or was
of this
it for their
I think it was just them.
Soviet review.
It was just part of the gigantic lists of stuff that they have at the CIA.
There's a lot of Yakov Smirnoff stuff here, right?
The list was addressed to the deputy director of the CIA, but is believed to have been circulated among senior White House officials. One joke featuring Ronald Reagan made it to the president's desk, and he found it so funny that he began to use it himself.
That's the goddamn funniest thing I've ever heard.
So here, you want to hear the joke?
Please tell me. Tell me, Mommy.
An American tells a Russian that the United States is so free that he can stand in front of the White House and yell, "To hell with Ronald Reagan." And the Russian replies, "That's nothing. I can stand in front of the Kremlin and yell, 'To hell with Ronald Reagan,' too."
I don't get it.
Oh, yeah!
Did you say penis? I must have missed it.
No.
You said it was a dirty joke.
No, I didn't say it was a dirty joke.
Oh, yes, you did. What?
No, I didn't say it was a dirty joke.
You said it was filthy.
I think the Alzheimer's is kicking in, Ronnie.
God damn it.
Yep.
Where are my jelly beans?
It is not known exactly why the CIA began doing this.
It wasn't filthy.
Though since there were no polls in Soviet Russia, it could have been a good way for agents to judge public mood towards politicians and the government.
Why did chicken cross road?
Why?
To escape the extreme starvation caused by Stalin.
One particular figure of fun was Mikhail Gorbachev.
Why do I have stain on head?
The last leader of the Soviet Union who worked to end the Cold War by reforming the USSR. While this made him popular overseas, he was often reviled at home, as revealed by this joke, which tells of a man waiting in line at a liquor store.
Tell the joke.
A worker standing at a liquor store line says, I have had enough. Save my place. I'm going to go shoot Gorbachev. 2 hours later, he returns to claim his place in line, and his friends asked, did you get him? He said, no, the line there was even longer than the line here.
That is a good one. It's very funny.
Another joke compares Gorbachev to...
You know, maybe we don't laugh at the same kind of jokes or something, but... you told me that Gorbachev line joke and it wasn't funny. But I have one for you. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Orange.
Orange who?
Banana.
It is, I don't think you told that correctly.
Shut up.
Banana. So Stalin.
I'm going home.
Stalin was also.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Stay in your seats or you'll all be shot. It's funny, yes? Knock, knock.
Who's there?
You will starve in gulag.
I'm here all Zavik.
I would say try Seville, but there is no veal.
Wow. He walks the street even if he doesn't have theme music.
It's much harder if you don't have the
I
theme
think
music, but
you stay in time more. You can sashay more efficiently. But without the music, you still do well.
thank you.
Yeah, when you walk with a beat, you know, and there's no music playing, you just look like a weirdo.
It's true. It's true. You got to have the music on. By the way, I don't know if we'll get further than this first story or not, but I do have other things in case we do. But
it's an amazing story.
This is wild. So nearly 20 years after his disappearance, James, and I'm not sure how to pronounce the last name, Amabel's family, Amabile is how you say it, Amabel, Amabel, I'm not sure. But they had given up hope that they would ever know what happened to him until they turned to a YouTube search and rescue team. Divers had barely conducted a 10-hour investigation into a missing persons case that had stymied Ridley Township investigators for nearly 20 years, and most of their interviews were conducted in the back of an RV parked outside of a local restaurant. And by Saturday afternoon, Doug Bishop and his crew of skilled divers and amateur detectives from Adventurers with Purpose, which is a search and rescue recovery team that travels the country helping families find missing loved ones free of charge, and then films their investigations for YouTube. They were confident that their sonar had found the Ford Explorer that James Amabel had driven, and when the father of two had vanished. And
I saw the truck and trailer parked at that restaurant.
We were driving by there on Saturday, Kathy, and Rochelle had pointed out, she's like, oh, that's a cute little marina. I don't know why I've never noticed it before. I'm like, yeah, well, it's been there forever, you know.
Oh, and you didn't see the activity?
No, I didn't see the activity going on. Maybe that was, and we just didn't pay attention, but maybe that's what drew her eyes to it.
You saw it, Kathy?
I didn't see the activity. I saw the aftermath. I saw the truck and their trailer, like where they conducted their interviews, and it sort of just marked up and was parked in the parking lot of, I think it's called Stingers, right, Case?
Yeah, on Saturday, Kath, or?
No, yesterday.
Yesterday? Oh, you were in Delco yesterday?
On 95.
Okay. I actually drove past it, too. Wasn't paying attention to it at all. I mean, this is wild.
Bishop and diver Anthony Giampetro donned their dry suits behind Stinger's waterfront inside the Ridley Township Municipal Marina, and they plunged into the water, and by following a long cable that they had affixed to the dock, they descended nearly 25 feet below the surface of a swift-moving Darby Creek. Felt for the wreck in debris-filled water so dark and murky that Bishop said it was like swimming through chocolate milk.
Could you imagine that?
And in moments, Bishop had traced his hands over the algae-covered license plate, and soon they discovered human remains still seat-belted into the driver's seat. And it's the guy's vehicle. They brought the brought the license plate up. It was the proper license plate. They just need to full-on verify 100% with dental records and things like that. But yeah, it's this guy that had been missing for 18 years.
It's astonishing how they came in, how efficient they were. I mean, and the poor family's been, how do you deal with that? What happened? Where, now they finally have an answer. Obviously, it's a sad answer, but they have closure.
Listen to this. The marina had been redeveloped a few years after Amabile had disappeared, and the builders had unknowingly drilled a pylon directly through the Ford's engine bay.
Crazy.
So it was stuck there.
And they had touched it. They had gone down. The work had gone through the vehicle.
Oh my God!
Isn't that crazy?
Well, and I think one of the people in the story, one of the television reports on it, somebody said, You didn't check the bottom. You didn't check before you were drilling down.
Well, that's what was so weird about it. It was like
basically a site exam,
right?
Yeah.
Like something that they didn't see anything when they built this.
Yeah, apparently that's the case.
And to go right through the engine compartment.
Yeah. Now, it is completely like zero visibility.
Right.
Almost they're saying so.
How deep was it?
They said 25 feet.
25 feet.
That's really deep. That's pretty damn deep for a creek.
Yeah.
I would think. But down when they do this diving stuff, like our buddy Andrew from the ballpark was a welder underwater and would work in the Delaware River, and he's like, dude, you can't see anything. I mean, you just can't.
If you want to talk about a level of, freaking out, and the guys who do rig work in the Gulf, with the shark population in those waters, you've got to have balls of steel to do that.
Yeah, so when this all went down, because I read that there was an extensive, I don't know if you got this from the Inquirer, it was, extensive article written in the Inquirer about it, and so I was reading it last night. When this happened, Stinger's wasn't there. It was a different restaurant. It also happened in the middle of the afternoon.
By the way, what they think happened, it was in December. It was in an afternoon in December. He had the man had called the babysitter to say he was running late. His phone was last pinged off of a local police tower, but he was never seen again. He had been apparently he wore an insulin pump for diabetes, and he could become confused and lose sense of where he was due to low blood sugar. And his brother said he thinks that that's what happened, that he had a medical emergency while he was driving, and it went right into the water. And nobody was around. Nobody saw it.
Oh, my God.
Must have sank fast, and more than likely that's what they think happened.
Yeah, I just, because I don't know what the makeup of the marina was at that point.
Right.
Because, just looking at a picture right now, where they are collecting the remains and everything from is, 30 yards offshore?
Think about that case. For all these years, people have been walking right around, above it,
right?
All over
for years, unaware.
Yeah. So I guess, Casey, there's current in there, and it must have dragged it to some point, or who knows how fast he was going when he, you can pass out and hit the accelerator, and things like that can happen, but.
I don't know this family. I'm sure there's, it's some sort of point as far as my Delco-ness is concerned. I'm probably like, two
steps removed.
2 steps removed from him. But, as I'm reading about the brother, who was standing there yesterday or the day before, and I'm just so relieved for him and his family that they have some sort of closure. I mean, this is absolutely tragic, but for 19 years to have no idea.
Yeah, he described it as being purgatory, like, just in between, not ever knowing, having zero idea of what exactly happened.
Somebody's gone out of your life.
And they said that they didn't think that, there was never any thought that he had run off or anything like that.
Right.
He had 2 daughters who were like 5 and 8 years old, and he loved them more than anything, and so they just weren't 100% sure what happened.
This YouTube group they're amazing. I mean, they came down.
They do it gratis.
Yeah,
too,
they were working on something else, and they were like, okay, we're kind of in the area. We'll come down and check it out. But I think they also had their sights set on this couple that went missing off of South Street.
Yeah, so they don't need to charge. Their YouTube shows get about 20 million views a month.
Yeah.
So that's, you go and you do this for free. You get this great footage. You can put your product out there and get paid, and then they can use that cost. They can offset it, no problem, and still make a great profit, I would imagine. So, yeah, but it's cool work that they are able to go and do. I guess if you're concentrated on one thing as opposed to a police department which has several cases that might be going on, they can do a little more detailed work.
Remember when we were working at One River, Y100, and apparently there was a patch of forest there along one of the many rural roads and the main road to get down to the station where a body would occasionally be dumped. And I think there was one of like a woman who was working in porn or something.
Yeah, and we had driven by that. They found her on the side of that hill.
She was
right on the side. Yeah.
We drove to work several times, and she was there. And obviously, we never noticed it. And Steve, that brings to mind, like, how many vehicles do you think are in the Schuylkill right now? You know, or in the Delaware River right now? I mean, it's just got to be dozens.
Listen, this is a case where no one knew he went in. So I don't, we would talk about, Kathy, like, at the beginning of spring, as we start to come into what is now floater season, where
bodies would
start to surface.
Well, remember there was he was a police officer, but he told us where they, like, one of the spots where cars are dumped, like whether it be for criminal activity or not, or like just to get rid of a car, and it's right here, it's right off the Gladwin exit.
I know where it is. And it's easy to get right down to the bank of the river. And apparently they know that there's all these vehicles in there.
So it's funny. I was mentioning Joey Kohler earlier in the entertainment. His brother was one of these divers who would go down and literally feeling. That's all you couldn't see a damn thing. You had to feel the contours. As he said in this report, Preston, that he felt the contour of the license plate.
Yep, and then brought it back up, and that's when they verified it. So pretty wild story, but I'm glad that this family, like Casey was saying, now knows, and they can put that all to rest. And so, but pretty wild that surfaced and popped up right in our area. So, yeah. All right, what else do I have here? I have more city beat stories. All right.
He moves much better with music.
Thank you. Much better. I love this. For the third straight year, the Philadelphia suburb of Chesterbrook has been ranked as the top place to live in the entire United States. By data company Niche.
What makes it so damn wonderful, Preston?
Well, you got everything you need right there in Chesterbrook. I actually, not that long ago, just a few weeks ago, I was over at Trinity Rehab, which is right by there, and you know what? I was like, when I first moved to the area, I took a look at Chesterbrook as a possible place to set up and have residents, and so I haven't driven around there in a long, long time. I'm going to go drive around Chesterbrook and take a look, and it's just a delightful little community.
Yeah, I mean, like half of my middle school friends and high school friends grew up there. I spent a lot of time there growing up. I've mentioned this on the air before, but it's a great place to go trick-or-treating when you're a kid. There are innumerable houses and townhomes and whatever.
That's what I see it as, though, is like a townhome community.
Well, it's that, but it's also single homes. I mean, it really has a little bit of everything, and there are newer ones or older ones. There used to be, and I think there kind of still is, but there was a shopping center sort of in the middle of it. There was a Gennardi's, and then I think it became maybe a Giant at one point. Yeah. I don't know what's in that shopping center anymore. The only thing that it's kind of missing is
a three-story slaughterhouse.
No, I drove by it.
What's in there now?
I don't remember the exact stores, but I remember being, it was things like there was fast casual dining.
Is there a grocery store?
I think there was a grocery store as well. I couldn't be 100%. Maybe someone can enlighten us. Feel free to tell us about the shopping center at Chesterbrook.
The Gateway Shopping Center is right around the corner, and there's some grocery stores in there. But yeah, like it had that in the middle, but the Wilson Family Park is there now. I mean, it really does have a little bit of everything for everybody.
Yeah. When I've been over that area, I've always thought how nice. I would describe it as an enchanting hamlet.
Yeah. I think so. So it is, but the best place in the entire nation to live, that's pretty damn wild. Montgomery County's Penn Wynne and Ardmore ranked 3rd and 6th, respectively.
How are we knocking out of the park on all that stuff? We get all the other things that find the worst. We end up in that list. Somehow we're acing this.
Dude, Montgomery County's killing it here. How about that? Yeah. So it was on the 2022 Best Places to Live in America list.
In America?
It was released last week by Pittsburgh-based Niche, which bases the rankings on data from the U.S. Census, FBI, Bureau of Labor Statistics, and the Center for Disease Control. And it took into account public schools, crime rates, job opportunities, and local amenities in 18,515 towns, cities, and neighborhoods across the country.
Does it calculate proximity to Gennardi's?
No, it does not. And are there any of those that remain anywhere?
I don't think so.
I don't think there are.
It was family run, and they became like most of them became giants.
Yeah.
And then there were like a few other. Gerhardt's was one at one point. But yeah, and so the text came in, Preston, and said there's a bagel place, a pizza place, a drugstore, but the grocery store itself is now gone.
Okay. Okay. So I guess I'm off on that. But yeah, so public schools, crime rates, job opportunities, and local amenities are the things that the metrics that it looked at. Chesterbrook has a population of about 4,800 with a median home value of $323,000. It received an A-plus designation for its public schools, housing, jobs, health and fitness, and conduciveness to families.
And don't the people pray to a God they believe lives in the cornrows?
No, that was Children of the Corn, but that's okay. Niche touted Chesterbrook's abundance of restaurants, coffee shops, and parks, saying the area has a dense suburban feel. Is it abutted to Valley Forge?
It's right next to it.
It's very close.
Yeah, you can
right?
walk from the walking trails within Chesterbrook. You can go from those walking trails right into Valley Forge National Park.
Penwyn and Ardmore. I'm not familiar with Penwyn.
It's right around the corner from here.
It's next to Narberth, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And Chesterbrook, by the way, is Chester County. I don't know if you said that, Preston.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought that was Montgomery County.
So that's Tredyffrin Easttown Township.
Okay.
So that's Chester County.
All right. So the median home value in Penwyn and Ardmore is in both locales exceeded Chesterbrook at $366,000 in Penwyn and $355,400 in Ardmore. Locations in Greater Philadelphia and across Pennsylvania made significant strides compared to 2021 rankings. Ardmore jumped 16 spots from number 22 last year.
What's Ardmore doing?
Casey Swarthmore went from number 51 to number 28.
Swarthmore is a great little town. The only problem with Swarthmore, I think, is the taxes. But Swarthmore is, I love, just going through there, riding my bike through there. There's a lot of great places.
I pegged you as a Rutledge man.
I am Rutledge is Wallingford Swarthmore School District.
Okay.
So so I would ride my bike through Swarthmore College campus. They have like really great woods back there, like hiking trails and stuff. So I spent actually a lot of time in there. Is there how are the halfway housing community in Bucks County? Is that in there at all?
No, I don't think they have the shelters listed, but you also have Narberth was up 34 spots.
That's Bill Weston.
To number 43. It's ever since Bill Weston moved in there. How about that?
He's
been there.
Have you folks considered Narberth? Let me show you all this town has to offer.
Lots of low-hanging fruit all over the place.
Fruit.
Yes.
We're out of time to the home of the Homyonkles. Great couple.
My three favorite spots in and around this area are Swarthmore, Media, like downtown Media, and Narberth. I love those places.
Okay.
Media's on a big upswing, man.
And I will say something nice about Bucks County. I love Doylestown. And so Doylestown
is great.
Yeah, that main street in Doylestown has and Media and Doylestown have a very similar feels.
Very photogenic.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear that, Kathy?
I did, yes.
Okay. Just checking. No comments.
She's ripping up her death note to you.
Berwyn shot up 110 spots to number 95.
Wow.
And they all received an overall grade of A+.
Well, there's a ton of, then, obviously great places to live. Well, we knew that to begin with. The fact that in a national survey that they're ending up at the top of the list is pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's very cool. By the way, let me go to Andy. Hi, Andy. You're on the air. Good morning.
Yo, what's up, guys?
Yo, buddy. All right, Andy, what do you want to chime in with?
I used to live over in Berwyn, and I can't believe it's on it's number 95. That's crazy.
Wow.
But the Chesterbrook property, all that Gennardi's and everything, it all got leveled, and they built more carriage home type townhomes.
Okay.
It's bonkers.
It's bonkers?
Yeah, there's so many of them over there.
Well, there was not a lot of new construction within Chesterbrook, and so one of the knocks against it for a stretch was that some of it had become a little bit old, right? And so, yeah, when they leveled some of that shopping center to put in new homes, that was seen as, all right, we're actually going to invest in this property and make it newer, make it nicer, and so I'm glad that they did that.
They're building. Go ahead.
Sorry, it was kind of funny that Steve said something about a 3-story butcher shop. My uncle used to own a slaughterhouse over on Howville Road.
I must have known that somehow. But no, they're just what they are doing though in a lot of these places that they're jamming in so many apartment complexes, so many condo complexes. It's ridiculous.
Like in King of Prussia near near where that REI is. It's insane.
Have you been over to that the collection of houses? It's just crazy.
I was just over there. We were having brunch over there the last weekend.
They keep adding more, and I don't know where all the cars go. I don't know how people drive in and out of there without going insane.
Nick, they're actually putting apartments inside condominiums.
Well, that doesn't seem efficient.
Right along the water in Conshohocken, it's the same thing. It's apartment complex after apartment complex, and they're all, very very similar, just updated as they build a new one. It's the new luxury apartment complex to stay in.
And I asked, what is the occupancy level like at these places? You got to figure that they're half empty. No, they're
full.
They're full.
They're completely full. I have a friend who lives actually in like an older one. She doesn't live in the newest one, and they came to her about renewing her lease, and she had to make a decision because they could easily rent it out if she was like, "Can I go month to month?" And they're like, "No, either you sign or you get out."
Wow. Get out. So they're very good with people.
Well, no, they can rent it out. So they're not going to have you go,
Get away from me.
I'll take you outside and evict you.
All right. Well, Chesterbrook, #1 place in the country to live. That's pretty wild.
Crazy.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to talk a little bit about someone in particular on the city beat.
On the city beat?
A young man by the name of Donovan Lewis Basemore, who is 10 years old. He is from Upper Chi, Chester, my old haunt.
Yeah.
Lived there for a few years. He has made his Broadway debut as young Simba in The Lion King. He is 10 years
Isn't that cool?
old. It's awesome. It's great. In fact, I'm going to give 5 points to Delaware County.
Wow. Oh, my God. Hang on.
Wait, we actually have, here we go. Thank you. We have an official awarding a point.
You know what? And I forgot to
County Cup.
Yeah, I forgot to do this last week for Bucksco, so.
Okay. So Bucksco picked up how much last week?
5.
What was last week? I don't remember.
So Murr got married in Bucks County in 2020.
Even though it was old news, Casey said, but it was the first I had heard of it, so I awarded them points.
You're the ultimate arbiter of which area gets what.
By the way, Delco is winning 80-50.
Still a match.
So, there you go. All right, so Donovan Luis Basemore. So, when he was 7 or 8 years old, his parents took him to see his first Broadway show, which was The Lion King. And he had been to a few musicals in Philly and thought that this one was very, very cool. He said, I just saw a bunch of grown-ups in the show at first. And then I saw a kid run out on stage, and my eyes lit up, and I was like, that's a child on stage on Broadway. And he said after that, he couldn't wait to be king.
So the first musical he falls in love with, he's now starring.
Yeah. So he has arts in his blood. His mother, Dawn Marie, was a dancer in the Philadanco or Danco. I'm not sure.
Philadanco. Yeah.
Danco. Okay. For many years, performed on a tour in The Color Purple, and now is a choreographer and dance professor at Rowan University. She met her husband, Dwight, when they were in a play together at the Ritz Theater Company in Haddon Township. His grandmother, Dawn Marie's mother, Helen Sugland, is an executive producer on the TV show Blackish and business partners with Lawrence Fishburne. And she met Dawn Marie's father when they were performing summer stock together. So they've got theater in their blood.
Yeah, he was destined for this.
Since Donovan
That's how I ended up in the ballet.
Got his role in January, he and Dawn Marie have been staying in an apartment in Weehawken, New Jersey, convenient to New York's theater district. Dwight and the other children, Donato and Danny, are still in Pennsylvania, but they visit. While Donovan is performing, Dawn Marie is working towards her doctorate from Columbia University.
Could you imagine being that age and being in a Broadway show? What are the rules as far as that age as well? How many performances can you do?
That's a good question. Yeah, because school obviously has to take priority, and then you can't child labor and all that stuff.
I mean, at that point, they're not even rehearsing anymore, so they're only doing shows, really?
Right.
So what do they do, like 8 shows a week, and they have understudies and stuff, so...
That, too.
Yeah, I don't know. And I remember seeing Annie a couple of times when I was a kid, never on Broadway, but...
In the street.
Saw him once at, I guess maybe it was the Merriam Theater when I was really little, and then we saw him at the Riverfront Dinner Theater. That was a pretty cool spot. But those were all kids, you know?
I love going to the theater. My one issue with going to, like, Broadway is the seat size was made for Lilliputians.
Yeah, I'm 5'7", so it doesn't really bug me as much as it bugs you.
Yep. So anyhow, they had apparently Donovan shares the young Simba role with another boy, and there are also 2 young Nalas. All are new to the cast, as the children only get contracts for 6 months. So that's
6
part
months,
of the team.
all right.
If they succeed and they don't grow too much, they may be offered another 6 months. So that's
So what do? They bind them, you think?
That's what they do. Like they used
Like
to
a
do with
bonsai
little
tree?
kids, and they bind their feet and bodies so they don't grow at all. No. Donovan's schedule includes Saturday and Sunday matinees and Tuesday and Wednesday evenings. But he has to be in the theater for all the performances in case the other young Simba gets sick. So that's, you have to be able to fill in at any given notice.
All right, so obviously Broadway is no joke, but when they, this show didn't shut down so that they could bring him in and have him rehearse with everybody. So I don't know what they do for children, but for other people, let's say Dear Evan Hansen, for instance, right? So when they've had a lot of different Evan Hansens. They basically do one run through. So that Evan Hansen will learn all his lines and all his music and all his songs, and then he'll come in and they'll do it one time, and then boom.
Well, that there was the video that was floating around. It was of Hugh Jackman. He'd done a performance. I guess it was the Music Man.
Yeah, we're going to see him next month, actually.
Right. So he's doing that, and then the lead female part, she gets sick. So they have these people who know 4 or 5 different roles completely.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then they do kind of a quasi run through, and then they're off and running. So they're like the amazing utility players.
Yeah. So my daughter's been doing theater for a little while now. As a matter of fact, she goes Mary Mercy, and their play Anastasia is opening this weekend at Rosemont College. A little plug for them. But she was in a play a few months ago where the girl hit her head during set break or whatever. Ooh. And it ended up she wasn't there for the second half of the play. I didn't even notice. I didn't even notice that she wasn't even there because somebody all these other people had stepped in and took her lines for her.
Right.
Yeah, so when you're
That's how seamless they are.
Yeah.
Yep. They want you to get your money's worth, man. They can't cancel the show.
You guys have to go home now.
Right.
We got an injury, so have a good one.
The kid dies at the end. They give away the main plot point or something like that.
Helen Keller learns how to read and write, and she gets really smart. She writes some books and stuff.
Thanks for coming.
Free Raisinets on us.
Ooh, all right.
You had Nick.
Well, they're free. Normally, I wouldn't go for that.
Nick, they don't even like Raisinets.
Yeah, but they are free.
Nick turns to Andrew and goes, well, that's a win.
Really, they got free Raisinets at this performance, so are you ready?
Besides his theater work.
Can we get a hot dog?
Yeah, I mean, Raisinets are dessert.
I'm not a raisin guy.
Thank you.
Besides his theater work, Donovan attends his regular school virtually. He is a 5th grader at the Christian Academy of Brookhaven, by the way. So
these talented kids.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Stop it.
Yeah. All right. I think that's all we're going to have time for the City Beat today, gang. We've got some business to take care of. Michael Yo is going to be joining us, and we have the Bizarre File coming up. But forget not as well that today kicks off MMR Madness at noon.
We need to break that down.
Yeah, you know what? And maybe we'll do that. Yeah, because we've got a really solid lineup, and you are integral in finding out who advances. It's all sponsored by Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram City. So maybe we'll break down some of those in a little bit. We'll come back in just a moment. Make sure that you stay with us.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
MMR Madness. A rock battle of the brackets.
Thanks for coming. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
They murdered my wife.
That's sad.
Yeah, but if you think about it, she was nagging.
It's a way homer.
Have you heard the banana joke?
Heard funny joke from Rocky. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Orange.
Orange too.
Banana.
Oh, God. Oh. Well, these are CIA files.
Hey, I am having literally to hold stomach from pain of laughing.
Yes, exactly. Okay, I noticed that, and I figured we might have
Notice the Soviet humor.
They may not be married, but Jennifer Garner and Ben Affleck are still family, according to Ben's brother Casey. During an interview with E.T. on Saturday.
Are you still family?
No, entertainment television.
Do you all get together for the holidays?
What am I talking? What am I talking to here?
I'm E.T.
He walks in. He's like, "Are you serious? I have to do this."
Pulling himself up in the chair.
Thanks for talking with me.
Could you get my agent in here, please?
I'm talking to a turtle.
Yeah.
Not a turtle.
Oh my God.
I want a goddamn Oscar.
It was during an interview with E.T.'s Kelty Knight.
Oh, okay.
Whoever that is. I left that part out and I just said E.T., all right? So it was at the Are you still family?
How much longer is he going to be in rehab?
He's holding up his finger. Oh, my God.
E.T. could probably fix his addiction problem with his magic finger.
Right?
His heart.
Touch his heart.
Heart light.
Whole new human being.
New Ben, new Batman movie.
So stupid. It's so dumb. A suspended Long Island judge pleaded guilty on Friday to sneaking into his neighbor's home and stealing panties from her clothes hamper.
Bad judge.
This is a judge. Robert Sakale pleaded guilty to second-degree attempted burglary. He was detained on March 29, 2018 when he had been knocking on it.
They call me Judge Panties.
After he'd been knocking on a neighbor's door.
I like panties.
Sakale is said to have just left the home on a different neighborhood. Of a different neighbor prior to arriving at the second neighborhood's home.
I'm touching myself under my robe.
The first neighbor was identified as 23-year-old former intern at the Islip Town Attorney's Office.
Islip, yeah.
Islip, where the judge used to work. Now, police found that the judge had several pairs of panties stuffed down his suit jacket.
Oh, my God.
And his raincoat when they apprehended him.
Those are my panties.
Sakale's attorney claimed that his client had changed. He said he has served the people of Suffolk County honorably for the last 26 years.
Except for the panties part.
As a legal aid attorney, town of Islip attorney, and a district court judge. He has dealt with his mental illness.
I like to poop an oatmeal.
He's also...
What?
I like to poop an oatmeal.
He has dealt with his mental illness issues in a provocative manner and proactive manner.
Yes, provocative. Yes, oh, how provocative.
And he allegedly told officers during his arrest, the panties I had on me are from the other times I went into the house.
Okay, so don't judge him harshly.
We have a lot going on today. I want to start by saying we are going to have members of the Downton Abbey film in our studio this morning. So, in preparation for that, we're having Rambo Day on the Preston and Steve show.
Because if you can think of an American movie that is most linear to Downton Abbey, it'd be Rambo.
It would be Rambo Last Blood, which is coming out on Friday, the same day as the Downton Abbey film.
Listen, you guys are excited about something, and now I'm excited about something.
I'm doing a double feature, Kath. I'm doing Rambo and Downton Abbey on Friday.
Both Steve and I are wearing John Rambo wigs and bandanas. Casey has a bandana around his neck, but he doesn't need the wig because
his hair's long enough. Yeah. So you're John Rambo, who is out and about and killing, and I'm John Rambo, who would like to get a job at a fast food place.
Yes.
Yeah, you're a little more. My hair is a little more wild right now.
And I'm wearing my hairnet still.
Yeah, you have the hairnet on. So
you know, it'd be really cool, Preston, if we have enough wigs and bandanas for the Downton Abbey cast.
Could you imagine if they did that? So we'll find out what happens.
I bet they'd be into that. I mean, they all have those like dry senses of British humor, but I bet they'd be into that idea.
I don't know how long I can stay with the wig on because
mine hurts.
The actual hair, it's itchy.
Yeah.
And also, it causes a cushion between my headphones and my ears.
Same here.
So it's the volume is not quite where it needs to be. So
how did Rambo ever do a radio show?
How did he do that?
Rambo in the morning.
It's 5 in the morning. Weather looks good for the rest of the week. And don't forget Money Shark at 8 o'clock.
Hey, Charlie Sheen was set to compete on season 28 of Dancing with the Stars, but ultimately he walked. He was talking to Us Weekly.
You have to walk to get out on the dance floor. Duh.
He told the magazine, I was very flattered by ABC and their offer, but at the end of the day, I have 2 left feet and I just can't dance.
Charlie Sheen.
I'm a freaking warlock.
Yeah, you should be able to create a spell and be able to dance.
I'll get on my Nimbus and fly around the stage.
Why can't you just get on your Mercury surfboard?
Absolutely.
The opportunity was linked to a pilot opportunity as well.
Yeah, I want to be a pilot for American Airlines.
But when he passed on Dancing with the Stars...
I'm your pilot. Outside the plane can see a freaking mountain.
Yes. Yes. Charlie Sheen, commercial air pilot.
We'll never crash because I'm a freaking warlock. Floatium foreverum.
I'm concerned about this flight.
Thousands of dollars worth of bull semen has been destroyed after a cattle building exploded.
Oh, no.
All right. I just saw a tweet this morning that said, I didn't know semen was flammable, and I didn't know what that was in reference to, and apparently it's this story.
So it was the semen itself that exploded?
Well, I'm not really sure about that, but emergency services were called to...
Oh, yeah.
Emergency services were called to...
I blew that chick apart.
We're called to Yarram Herd Services at about 3 a.m. where 100 cryogenic cylinders containing cattle semen exploded in the blaze.
I can't imagine there's anything flammable and...
No,
semen?
I think
it's probably the containers themselves or something with the wiring or whatever.
Well, maybe they're pressurized. But it took 10 fire crews more than 10 hours to contain the fire at the building, which is a cattle breeding service. Vice Committee Chairman Aaron Thompson said the loss would be, quote, a huge blow for farmers, with the cylinders being worth between $500 and $1,000 each. He said...
the entire town next door got a facial.
He said, we're coming into the artificial insemination season, so...
Oh, are we? It's like baseball activities.
There would have been substantial amounts of semen inside the tanks that we've lost, which was owned by our local farmers, and it can range in value from $5 per straw to $95 per straw.
Wow.
A lot of farmers would have semen stock in the building in those tanks preparing for AI, so... We've got that plus all of our herd testing equipment that was in there as well. He said, so this is significant damage and is going to have a flow-on effect on Yarram, especially after the drought that Yarram District has experienced over the last 12 months.
Bad news, folks. We have a semen drought.
Yeah. It's going to be a real blow for sure, he said. The not-for-profit organization provides artificial insemination breeding advice.
Put a call into Peter North.
Korn has launched its new coffee brand called Korn Coffee.
Korn Coffee.
Yes.
It's a great name.
Korn Coffee.
If you like the driven rock of corn, you'll love their coffee.
Korn personally curated the creation of Korn Coffee.
Yeah, that's good.
Let's see how many K sounds I can put in there. Korn personally curated the creation of Korn Coffee. A process that saw the band members tasting multiple variations for ultimately selecting the perfect roast and blend.
Yeah, that one.
Each bag of Korn Coffee will feature a special message from the band, which reads, after almost 25 years of touring, making records, and playing in front of all of our amazing fans,
we still drink coffee.
One thing has remained a constant in our daily routine.
Lattes!
I was not expecting that.
I know.
Lattes! No, it says coffee. The ritual, the brew, the aroma. And most importantly, that very first cup every morning that sets the tone is something that we look forward to every day.
Well, this is interesting. We're actually watching footage of them sampling the various brews.
Yeah. It says, because of our passion, we've gotten together with a roaster and handcrafted our very own blend, coffee. It's called Korn Coffee.
Next up, Korn Licorice.
Korn recently began recording its new album in Nashville, Tennessee, by the way, but now they have Korn Coffee.
That's part of waking up is corn coffee in your cup.
That's right. Yeah, cup. This is...
cup.
Always at the ready.
Yeah, a couple.
We need to have Nick coffee or something like that.
Yeah.
Have a cup. Have a cup.
This is our new blend.
cup.
It's called Nanapuya.
From the hills of Nanapia.
Yeah. Brought down by mules every day at 2 o'clock after the afternoon rain. The beans are enriched with monkey urine.
If only we had a coffee sponsor to do this for us.
I know.
Yeah.
Right?
Nanapuya.
Well, that's good.
Have a cup.
Yeah, a cup.
Or no, the question would be, would you like some?
Yeah, a cup.
No, not Nanapuya. Yeah, cup.
Come on.
Yeah, a cup.
That'd be ridiculous. Do you want a thermos or a cup?
Yeah, a cup.
Okay.
Oh, one Nanapuya for table 7.
Okay.
What is that one?
That's you. That's Mini Wookie. That's Nick. So you ask, have you decided what you like, sir?
Nanapuya.
Nanapuya.
Nanapuya. I don't remember Mini Wookie.
All right. Anyhow, Korn has coffee.
Korn coffee.
It's almost an embarrassment that we live in this city and that we don't. You know, I think you're right, though, Preston. Stop and check it out, at least to some degree.
Why groups of people decided that it would be a good idea to memorialize this person in that form.
Also, don't hesitate now and then to throw a rope around on it and attach to your boat hitch.
That why is intriguing to me as well. What the hell is the point of dragging a statue into the river?
But, you know, when I heard the news report it this morning, they reported it as if, like, here we go again. Now, there was only one other incident, but... Yeah.
There's a lot of statues being pulled down for various reasons, whether you had down south with the Confederate statues and things of that nature, and if they believe, well, you know, there's it's kind of the thing, but this thing seemed like, what's that about?
Yeah. Hey, what did Rizzo do that was so great that he gets a statue?
He was just a really popular mayor. I mean, like he was larger than life in a bunch of different ways in stature, and so because of his tactics, he was well known. He left his mark. Good and bad, and deserved a statue as a result.
Yeah.
You're a real crumb bum.
And he gave us that.
If that, honestly, I would give him a statue just for that.
For crumb bum?
I'll take you out back bunches.
Yeah.
My arms tied behind my back.
Yeah.
I'll pound you into the pavement, I will.
That whole audio, you look like a lush to me. He's telling the reporter.
Yeah.
Would you care to talk to CBS? You look like a lush. I'll pound you into the pavement.
You want to relive that?
Yes, I do.
All right, Casey's finding the audio of Frank Rizzo when he was confronted. He wasn't happy about it. He was out walking his dog, and
maybe the Viking was the Nordic Frank Rizzo.
They were confronting him about.
You look like a lush to me. What's your story? I hit you with my shield. I'll take you out back and hit you with my shield.
Yeah. What are you?
You're a crumb bum.
You can't find it, Case?
I don't know. See her more often these days, but and she's just such a sweet person. She also shares the same exact birthday as my sister-in-law, Jen.
Okay.
So my wife's sister, Jen, happy birthday.
Nice. All right, listen, an email I got, this is a follow-up from being at the Flyers game, which turned out to be Clausure's final game as a Flyer. But I got this from Bridget with the Royal Glenside. She was in the suite next to the suite that we had gotten for our winners that night. And she emailed in and said, hey, Preston, Nick, it was great meeting you guys at the Flyers game. Thanks for taking a minute to chat with me. I've been listening to you guys for about 15 years. My son was freaking out when I showed him a picture of us. Thanks for doing that. And I attached some pictures of my music venue. She was telling me about it. I'm like, well, send me an email about it because she said that they had included us in this. So she said, we opened in September 2021. We're right outside of Philly in Glenside, Montco. And I had to share our mural with you since we have your logo in there. And she said, let Casey know we placed it next to the fish logo for him.
Oh.
Kevin Fox is my mural artist, and I believe he interned with you guys at some point. Really tall dude with super long dreads.
Yeah.
And the artwork is gorgeous. It's really cool. And they included the Preston and Steve logo in there, and it's through their hallways. She said, my business partner, Jerry Clark, and I put the list together of some of our musical influences. Joni is number one for me. Bob Dylan is number one for him. And this is phase one of the mural. And the plans to take it out into the main room. This is the back hallway. We're huge Beatles fans and are in a cover band called The Stinks because we love the Kinks. And we are a 100 cap venue. Our goal is to be home for local musicians who are trying to get their music out there, original, cover, or otherwise, and a place where people can actually listen rather than a bar where people are talking over you and watching sports. The Royal is meant to be an oxymoron, feel like royalty, but without the pressure of the title. We accept you as is, regardless of race, gender, your past, etc. We accept the F-ups, LOL. And we have a killer open mic happening every Wednesday. So much talent coming through that I didn't know existed around here. So I thought that was really
Where's
cool.
that again?
It's in Glenside, she said, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Glenside in Montgomery County. So that was really cool of her to reach out, and the fact that they added us into their mural
It's very
is
nice.
really awesome. So it's a cute little spot.
You
So-
need places like that.
So thank you, Bridget. We appreciate that. And then, Kathy, this is for you.
Okay.
It says, Kathy, you need to open your SodaStream. We are just over the bridge. We were talking about carbonated drinks, and Kathy has a SodaStream. She's never even opened it.
Is this from SodaStream?
This is from SodaStream.
That's great.
This is from Greg Riley, forecasting and sales analysis for SodaStream USA, and they're located in Pennsauken, New Jersey.
Okay.
And Greg says, definitely not just for soda. We have the bubbly branded flavors for it now, as well as you can just use fruit instead of fruit-infused carbonated water. But they said, we're right here, Kathy. Open it
I have
already.
to open it. Okay, all right. Done.
It is actually a good device.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Agreed.
And just when you do it, Kathy, just make sure you flavor the water after you carbonate it. Don't think, oh, well, why don't I just put the flavor in now? Because that'll make it explode.
It'll make it fizz up?
Yeah, it'll make it fizz up, yeah.
Yep.
Not like explode
So
in a
you
bad
flavor
way.
it after you carbonate.
It'll just make a mess. It won't destroy half your kitchen. So here's another email. It says, hey, Preston, on March 18th, my son will have his first birthday, and my wife will have her 34th. That's right. He stole her birthday 1 year ago. Can I please have a double birthday shout out for my amazing wife and awesome baby boy? So I meant to do this last week. I didn't get to it. So that's from Philip Haybrick. So happy birthday to both. And then one last one, then we'll get to the B file. This says, hey, guys, I wanted to request a shout out for my son, Jake. Turns 22 on the 20th, and his 21st last year really sucked. He had COVID, and he couldn't go out to celebrate. He and I love the show. We listen every day. He'd be really excited if he got a juicy shout out from the show. Thanks so much. And that is from Becky Chabin. And she says, be the change you want to see in the world.
Exactly.
So there's a shout out for you. Happy birthday. All right. Now we're ready for the Bizarre File.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you by Natural Lawn of America. Safer for your lawn, kids, and pets. You can schedule their full-service program and get free seeding every year. Call 800-FREE-SEED. Natural Lawn of America. Greener grass, fewer weeds. Guaranteed. Well, a case report published in the journal Urology Case Reports described how doctors found a glass tumbler that a 45-year-old woman had misplaced about 4 years earlier. The woman had been suffering urgenturia for about a year before eventually going to the emergency. Urgenturia is a feeling of urinary urgency, a continuing sensation.
Hate that.
Of need to empty your bladder. And urinary urgency is a common symptom of a urinary tract infection because when your bladder walls get irritated, they often begin to contract or spasm. Well, the woman had received treatment for bladder infections several times previously. However, each time, no one had taken a closer look at her bladder. An x-ray of her pelvic area revealed something even more unusual, an object that was shaped like a glass. The woman then underwent surgery to remove this object from her bladder. It was a glass tumbler that apparently been sitting in her bladder for a while because it was encased in calcified material.
It had been absorbed by calcium. How did it get in there?
All told, the combination, I'll explain in a second. The combination glass tumbler and bladder stone measured 8 centimeters by 7 centimeters by 8 centimeters. With this glass tumbler successfully removed from her bladder, the woman was able to leave the hospital after 2 days and apparently had no problems afterwards. Upon questioning from doctors, the patient mentioned that she had used the glass tumbler as a sex toy for years.
Oh, my.
And she did it 4 years prior. It had been in there
For 4 years.
Dear God.
Listen, I don't know how this ends up being a sex toy, but we're looking at the aftermath. It's pretty disgusting.
Apparently, she hadn't removed the glass tumbler over time. This object
And the jigger's right next to it.
probably caused inflammation and the breakdown of the tissue between her vagina and bladder. The tissue breakdown then may have allowed the glass tumbler to slowly migrate into her bladder. When a tunnel forms between your bladder and your vagina, it's called a vesicovaginal fistula. And officially is any abnormal connection between two body parts. And so that ended up happening. They had to remove it. And it's messed up.
I'm just thinking maybe the last time she used it, she was drunk. And after she finished, she was so wiped out, she just fell asleep and then forgot about it.
That happens to me
I don't know.
occasionally.
Yeah, you know.
With my garden shears.
God only knows what all you got up in there, Steve.
Absolutely.
A Manhattan Spanish teacher yanked from the classroom after investigators found that she sucked on a man's nipple during a Zoom class, returned to the same school this month, stunning students who had witnessed the lewd display. The City Department of Education's handling of the incident, one of the most bizarre during the pandemic, showed insensitivity and failure to communicate with students and parents.
She's a Spanish teacher?
The DOE removed teacher Amanda K. Fletcher from Columbia Secondary School for Math, Science, and Engineering amid COVID-19 shutdown in October 2020 after investigators found she engaged in inappropriate sex act while remotely instructing her class. During the lesson, Professora Fletcher, as students called her, sat at a kitchen table eating spaghetti with a shirtless man standing behind her. She appeared to suckle on the man's nipple while rocking back and forth, then turned to the camera, smiled, and wiggled her shoulders. After taking her mouth off the man's chest, Fletcher did a little shimmy, a student recalled, saying she wasn't hiding it. It was a look at me kind of thing.
Well, looking at a picture of her, she looks a little bit like a party girl.
One student recorded the scene and shared the video with other kids. Fletcher caused another buzz when she unexpectedly showed up at the school 17 months later on March 7th. On Wednesday, a day after the Post asked about Fletcher's return, the Department of Education sent Fletcher to a district office. Before returning to the school, Fletcher settled misconduct charges by agreeing to resign effective July 1st, officials said.
Think of all the teachers that you've had, and how many of them would you like to see do that on a Zoom?
Not many.
Not many.
Not many.
Yeah.
Video captured a man's run-in with a family of bears Thursday in Sierra Madre. The man was sitting in his car with his St. Patrick's Day corned beef meal in his lap near Mountain Trail when he saw the bears approach. The video shows one of the hungry bears come up to the car and open the door twice.
Top of the morning to you.
The man had quick reflexes, promptly closing his car door both times and keeping himself and his dog safe.
That's adorable.
Another video shows the three bears climbing a tree outside the house and hanging around near a deer lawn ornament. And apparently it's not unheard of for bears to be able to open doors. The California Department of Parks and Recreation warns that bears can open vehicle doors and may cause damage trying to gain entry if they sniff something inside.
We can even hotwire this.
Bears can also pry open home doors, windows, and dumpsters as well.
Just give me the code.
So they told them to, you got to be careful while you're doing it. All right, then we'll do one more story and end with this one. A 39-year-old man reportedly attacked another man in a shopping center restroom because the man was taking too long using the stall. So this is in England. It was in
attacks him?
Kent, yeah. So a 26-year-old man was using a downtown bathroom, and the suspect, who was angered because he was taking too long, attacked him with a machete.
I never bring a machete to the men's room.
The man sustained severe injuries but has been released from the hospital. 3 officers arrived at the scene within minutes and treated the man. They placed 3 tourniquets on the victim to stop his heavy bleeding. Medical aid arrived a few minutes later to take over, and paramedics transported the man to the hospital. Meanwhile, the man with the machete fled the scene before police arrived. A witness came forward to say that he watched the suspect flee, gave a description of the event. A canine unit located items that appeared to belong to the suspect, including a weapon that had been tossed on the ground.
Think of how vulnerable you are when you're sitting on the toilet.
Oh, yeah. A detective located video footage from the shopping center and sent out a photo of the suspect to other officers. Another officer recognized the suspect in the photo from previous arrests and notified detectives of his identity. And they eventually found him, a 39-year-old man hiding. Even though the suspect was armed when they approached and other occupants were also armed, the suspect was taken into custody without incident.
But I really had to go.
And they are continuing to collect evidence. That is messed up, dude.
Take up a machete against someone because they're taking too much time in a stall.
That is the bizarre file, and I have even more twisted stories to get to later on. You won't want to miss them. The weekend was good as far as that stuff goes, so I will share them a little bit later on. All right, we're going to take a break. Our buddy Michael Yo has a new comedy special out on his YouTube channel, so we will check in with him in the 9 o'clock hour, and more coming up, so stay put. We'll be back in just a moment.
See Crumba.
This says call Stan Bowman. Here we go.
Yeah, that's it.
There is a Stan Borman from Channel 3 News. Could we...
How are you?
Fine, sir. How are you?
Good.
Could we talk with you for just a moment?
No, I'm busy.
You couldn't answer any of our questions?
I wouldn't talk to you under any condition.
Why is that, sir?
Forget it. Scram. Get out of here.
Sir,
Scram. Hit the road.
Scram.
You lussia. Why?
Get away from me. I'm now a private citizen.
Yes,
you
sir.
get away from me.
We're allowed to be on the streets, sir.
I don't want to talk to you. Get away from me.
How do you feel about the security guards being taken off of you, sir?
Get away from me or I'm going to throw you out in the middle of the street.
Gonna throw you right out there.
One more question.
I'm telling you, get away from me.
You were the symbol of law and order in Philadelphia, sir, for many years. People looked up to you and respected you.
Look, creep, get out of here.
How could you justify your actions at our cameras last Monday in front of your
Get
house?
out. You're a creep.
We're a member of the media. We'd like to have an answer to our
You're
question.
a creep.
Why did you attack our cameras, sir?
Get it all. Don't miss any of it. You're a creep. Get away from me.
Would you answer the question?
Dude, he had great pipes.
He really
He
did.
did.
His voice, get away from me. He could do movie trailers.
This weekend at the Community Cinema Pucks.
You're a creep. Get away from me.
Would you answer the question?
You know, you hide behind that press card.
I'm not hiding behind anything, sir. I just wanted to get some answers.
I'll tell you what to do. There's a gang of yous here. There's enough of you here. By myself, I'll take yous physically.
Well, I'm not asking you to take me physically.
Well, get away from me.
Well, sir, I'm on the public street. I should be authorized to be here.
I'll break it off.
I'll break it off.
I'll break it
Physically and mentally.
Yeah.
I'll get inside your brain.
This is after he was mayor. Yeah. You know, you'd think he'd be happy in retirement.
Nah, he didn't care.
Big dude, though.
Yeah.
You see him next to the reporter. He's a big dude.
Yep.
Hey, get away from me.
I think the statue.
He was
The
a cop,
statue is
right?
1-to-1 scale.
Yeah.
I'll break it over your head.
I'll break it over your head. Hang on. Let's go back.
I'll break it over your head. I'll break it over your head. Get away from me, you crumb. That's a challenge, except I'll put my dog away and I'll come back. And you got 1, 2, 3, and I'll do
1,
it
2,
along
3.
with.
Follow me.
Yeah.
Let me just put Fifi back in the house. Come on, Fifi, heel.
It is kind of a little dog, right?
Yeah.
3.
No?
No.
I can't see the dog. Oh,
No,
no,
it's a
I was
big
wrong.
dog.
I was
Yeah.
incorrect. I thought he had a little poodle with him.
Daddy loves you.
Yeah.
Daddy loves
kisses.
you. Give me love monster kisses.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna come back and kill you all. Beat you to death with a tire iron and then dance in your blood. Who wants you to do? Who wants you to do? Gonna put you in the house now. All right, don't be scared. Daddy has to go kill the bad men. I'm coming to kill you now. Dude, calm down. Did you lose your chew toy? Did you lose your chew toy? It's under the sofa. Yeah. Wait right here. Daddy needs to go kill the reporters. Yes, I know. Yeah. Get up in the living room window. You want to see Daddy kill the bad men?
Yeah, that's right. Sets him up where he's got a nice view of the street.
I'm doing this for you.
Yeah.
2, 3, and I'll do it along with you. In that back of that fence, just the 3 of us, 4 of us, me and you.
4 or 5. I tell you what, call some of the family members. Bring them out here too.
Show you what kind of a man you are. You're less than a man.
You're a less man.
Okay, you're a crumb creep.
A crumb creep.
You're a moon creep pie creep crumb. You're crepe brulee. That's what you are.
Creep brulee.
Yeah.
As if someone's taken one of them little torches and fried the top of your head into like a caramelized sugary thing. You are crepe brulee. You know what you like? You like one of them fancy desserts with the thin shell on top, but underneath you just pudding. Just pansy pudding, crepe crumb, pansy crumb, crepe creme, crumb, brulee crepe creme. With sugar on top.
At this point, they've just shut up.
They just let them know.
Because they are like, we are getting gold right now. Just let this roll.
Put that on camera. You're a crumb bum, the three of you, and I challenge you.
He wouldn't talk earlier. I'm not talking to you, right? I'm not talking to you. And now, Stan Bowman hasn't said anything for like 5 minutes.
He actually fell asleep. What are you, Stan? Are you asleep?
Wake up.
I'm sorry, I had a long night. Where did your dog go? I put him inside, didn't you see? There he is, in there looking in the window there.
Just me.
There is a
You're
out here.
a crumb creep coward. You can't take. You won't stand up to a man.
I'm standing up. We're not here to fight. We're here to get some answers to some questions. That's all.
I want to fight you.
Why is that?
Because you're a crumb creep lush coward.
You don't.
Crumb creep.
He keeps adding on.
Lush coward.
It started with one.
And you're a Methodist.
Now he's up to
What?
He's up to 4.
I don't know. I'm running out of desserts and various disgusting things.
Are you keeping a list? Do you know, like, okay, you're a crumb, you're a creep.
Wait a second here.
You're yellow.
I keep a list for things like this. You are a jackass crumb, creme, creep, cram, crumb. Oh, that's the wrong list. That's the potential dog names.
Thinking about getting another one, huh?
It was in the Chestnut Hill.
Wait, hold on a second. Honey, where's my reported bad name list? It's in the closet. No, I looked in there. I was looking for the dog's chew toy. I'll get back to you. What's your number? Give me your number.
By the way, Marissa.
I remembered it.
By the way,
he gets a call late at night.
No, he calls him back later on.
Better call this guy up. Yeah. You're a yellow crumb snake.
Have a lovely
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Have a lovely evening.
For that creep.
Oh, you creme crumb creep cram. You're an apple crumb creep cake. A la moron. Yeah, that wasn't that good.
Scratch that one off.
That's not good.
Yeah, that's.
I think when I try to do French desserts, it doesn't work out. I'll stick with the German stuff.
Oh my God.
I'm glad we revisited that.
Oh my God, I'm getting tears on my glasses here. Reality stars Todd and Julie Chrisley.
Oh my God!
Is it Chrisley knows best?
Yeah, Chrisley knows best. It's horrible.
Yeah.
There was one weekend where there was something I was watching a marathon of on the USA Network, and every other commercial was for Chrisley Knows Best.
Oh God!
She's a piece of ass, though, I think.
She is, but he's got to be gay.
Yeah, I don't know who wears more makeup.
He does.
Yeah.
Well, they have.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, but come on.
They have been cleared of $2 million in tax evasion charges, according to ET.
Well, there you go.
The pair who.
You've been cleared.
Why are you here? I thought you were a botanist.
Yes, but I minored in accounting.
So he.
On my home world of ET world.
It's easy to count on those big fingers you have.
Absolutely.
And numbers are universal, so.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The pair who pleaded not guilty were accused of cheating on their taxes by Georgia's Department of Revenue.
Hey, come over here. You're gay, right?
Todd said Julie.
Everything about you is highlights and the hair and I don't know. And nothing wrong with that, but yeah, you're gay.
So Todd said Julie and I knew all along that we had done nothing wrong and that when the facts came out, we would be fine.
Well, there you go. Now, the other question is, Preston, about this video, this sex video. that they were supposedly extorting their own daughter with. You know this story, right?
No, I don't remember that.
Oh, yeah. There's like a porn video, and
Is it her in?
That's now this is a whole morass of crap. But they're still trying to hash it out.
It was her and E.T., but it was just finger stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to finger blast you like you've never been blasted.
Oh, my God.
Light you up
You're
like
going
a
to feel it
like a
down there and
jack-o'-lantern.
up in your mouth, too.
Like a jack-o'-lantern.
I'm going to turn you into a Chinese puzzle.
Oh, my God. Does he
I'm going
not
to blow your goddamn head off.
Does he not look like the villain in Lazy Town?
He does.
Yeah, Robbie Rotten.
Yeah.
A little bit. Yes, you're
You
right.
look like the villain in Lazy Town.
All right. He also said, this is Todd, not
Anyway,
E.T.
whatever happened to the girl in that show?
We're just glad that the Department of Revenue was willing to keep an open mind and look at the evidence.
Well, of course, he presented a good case.
Ironclad.
There he is, Preston. There's a
Yeah.
a little bit
Robbie
around the
Rotten.
teeth.
Looks a little bit like him. All right, Aaron Paul tells E.T.
Oh,
Jesus.
You were in Breaking Bad, right?
That making El Camino a Breaking Bad movie was a blast.
Crystal meth.
He said that we were really, truly such a family, and it felt like a crazy sort of messed up family reunion, just telling the same old messed up story.
I had a family on Earth with Elliot and his brother and sister.
Miley Cyrus is asking her followers to send good vibes amid her recent hospitalization.
God almighty, that's the least we can do.
Yeah, I know. On Tuesday,
I was vibing last night. I don't know if she received them.
well, she has tonsillitis, so thoughts and prayers, folks. On Tuesday, the singer revealed on her Instagram stories that she had been admitted to a local hospital just one day after sharing on the social media platform she was suffering from tonsillitis. In the series of pics that featured Miley in her hospital gown, she explained how she was trying to get better before this weekend's Gorilla Palooza.
What the hell?
It's an entire concert series performed by gorillas.
No, it's a charity event hosted by Ellen DeGeneres' The Ellen Fund.
For her gorilla sanctuary.
That is correct, yep. Well, to raise global conservation efforts.
Right.
She had written, hoping the rock star gods send me a boost of badass and help me kick this S to the curb where it belongs. We got gorillas to save.
I love the way she talks.
She captioned a somber hospital bed selfie that showed an IV in her arm.
I don't feel so good.
You don't feel so good?
I don't feel so good.
Okay.
I hope my voice, everyone send some good vibes because I want to be able to perform for Gorilla Palooza.
Oh, gross.
Shut up, Cat.
Yeah, right.
From there. From there,
Hi, everyone.
From
I'm
the-
in the hospital because I have tonsillitis and I want my voice to get better for Gorilla Palooza.
you have tonsillitis and you want your voice to get better
Gorilla Palooza.
because you're afraid you'll lose it.
Yeah.
Something like that.
For gorillas.
From there, Miley changed tones and began to get more optimistic about her current situation, opening up about how looking good, about how looking good can make a person feel good.
Yeah, she's right.
Practicing what she preached, the singer showed off her oversized hospital gown that she cheekily redesigned to be more form-fitting, low-cut, and sleeveless.
Look, a gorilla could wear this.
A gorilla could wear that. No, she took the scissors out and she cut up her gown and made it into something a little more
Fancy.
Miley-ish.
Wow.
Unbelievably enchanting.
Yeah, it's just a beacon of light.
Just a beacon of light and
dark
hope.
world.
And gorilla saving.
Yeah.
She wrote, how you present yourself can determine how you feel, and she captioned a mirror selfie in the hospital room that featured her mother, Tish, standing behind her and doing her hair. And she said, thank you, Mama, for helping this little sickie look a little bit better by brushing my God,
So gross.
so gurgly.
Not getting better.
Mama, please, gonna go help the gorillas.
She also wrote, redesign my hospital gown.
Maybe she needs to just rest.
The final post saw Miley
Get in the bed!
being showered, and this is her in bed, showered with love by her friends as she laid in her hospital bed covered with rose petals next to a giant bouquet of bright yellow sunflowers and a large I love you balloon. And she wrote, I love my main gaze.
Well, her boyfriend came to visit overnight, Preston. The stories have been updated.
Wait, who's your boyfriend?
I don't know. He's a mystery man. To me.
Mystery man.
And he's playing guitar for her.
Played acoustic for her, and she's chilling. She's in bed, Steve. So she's resting up.
All right, looks like Danny Glover.
Yeah, it's not Danny Glover. It's a white guy with a beanie on.
That's my bitch.
No.
So she's healing up as we speak.
Well, listen, she's trying to heal for a good cause.
But what a voice.
We all support gorillas.
Mm-hmm. A nervous sex shop customer with a marked resemblance to Elvis Presley is the subject of a manhunt in New Zealand.
Like a double-headed dildo, man.
Police want to speak to the Elvis lookalike in connection with the theft of an imitation vagina from Peaches and Cream Adult Megastore in suburban Auckland.
This one looks just like Scylla.
Staff member Kat Mayer described the man as having black, slick-backed hair and wearing large sunglasses, and in a not very Elvis touch, an orange high-visibility vest.
Look at that vagina, man. That thing's huge.
He had attempted to buy the sex toy, but when his credit card was declined, he said that he was going to go out and get another card. Instead, he snatched the vagina.
Snatched his vagina.
And ran out of the shop. She said
it's called dine and gash.
She said...
That's good.
Thank you, man. That's why I'm the king.
She said it's really frustrating when this sort of thing happens. So rude, and it ruins your day. She said the man tried to distract her. She said he was very energetic and erratic, going around the shop.
I got so much energy, man.
Talking a lot. He brought a sex toy called Like a Virgin up to the counter, but his card was declined.
I ain't nothing but a hound doggy style.
He was really vivacious. She said, I'm not here to judge anyone, but he comes in really vivacious, and he blindsided me. I mean, I look like an idiot, but it happened so quick, and before I know it, he's running off down the street.
Don't beat yourself up if a guy who's an energetic Elvis.
Yesterday was first day of spring, so we're officially in spring, and today, I did not know this until I saw this morning, Dairy Queen has free cone day today.
Oh, wow.
What?
Well, for the first time in 2 years, yes. What? Today, only non-mall Dairy Queen restaurants across the country are handing out one small vanilla soft-serve cone while supplies last. It's limited to one per person.
No chocolate?
No, there's a vanilla cone.
What about chocolate?
They don't. They're not doing chocolate, dude.
Man.
Yeah.
I wonder what the lines are going to be like, though.
I don't know. But that's usually what I get when I go to
Small vanilla cones?
Small vanilla cones. Simple, classic.
So it's the greatest day for you.
Yummy. It's fantastic. I had one last night because I didn't know about today.
I'm devastated. I love that. I love soft ice cream.
Wait, did you see Rita's changed up what they did their free day of
How did
water
they
ice?
change?
I think
You have to give water ice to them.
no, and you know what? I'll see if I can pull it up. But I'm pretty sure instead of it just being that one day, you got like a coupon or you got a credit, and you can go any day.
Oh, okay.
Do they include the custard?
Steve, I don't know.
I'm just dying.
And was that yesterday, I guess? Because they usually do that on the first day of spring, don't they?
It was.
Okay, because they come by here and drop stuff off. What, Casey?
The information that you speak of, Kathy, for Rita's is in the studio here.
What does it say?
Happy first day of spring. Our free ice giveaway starts today. So that was yesterday. Make sure you have our app downloaded by today. So you needed to download that. And you can see a reward for free ice redeemable any day between the 20th and the 27th.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool.
All right. Nice. Excellent. So just thought I would mention that. I don't want you to miss your free ice cream opportunity today. Yesterday was kind of an interesting day around the household. There was one of our rooms. It's where my kids like to game and stuff like that. We just call it the lounge. It's just a little extra room. And it had gotten a little cluttery and so forth. So I'm like, I'm going to just straighten it up. And then my son Parker was like, well, why don't we move the furniture around? I was like, okay, well, that's not a bad idea. So we started, long story short, what started off as cleaning a room ended up with rearranging and painting the room.
Painting?
As well, yes.
How do you just willy-nilly paint a room?
It just came together. And
so did you paint it the same color? Or did you change the color?
No, we changed the color. It was Rochelle's.
Did you like go out and get paint, or did you have?
Oh my
God!
God!
That's a big audible.
Yeah.
Because usually there's a fair amount of planning in paint.
We just went to Lowe's, got some paint, did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it went from
and you put it in a bidet,
a light straightening up to paint the room.
That's a full project.
We didn't have anything on tap for the whole day, and it was kind of a blah day. So we're like, okay, yeah, this is a good day to do it. So we went ahead and do it. But and the furniture removing is big furniture, so it wasn't just little things here, an end table and stuff like that.
On the second floor?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, next to Parker's room.
Yep. Okay.
So we painted it, and it's funny how just one little thing like that can lead to an all-day project. And in true Preston form, I messed it up.
Oh, man.
Oh, no.
All right, so you moved the furniture. Did you move then when you decided to paint? You just moved it into the center of the room.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. So, but here's how I messed it up. So Rochelle and I paint the walls, and of course, while we're painting the walls, a little bit of the wall paint gets onto the ceiling. So we need to paint the ceiling too. So we're like, yeah, what the hell? We'll go ahead and do it. So we went and got some ceiling paint. And also there's some trim that needed to be painted.
Right.
So it was like, windowsills and things like that.
So you got the tape and everything.
So we didn't do tape. We went freehand.
Okay.
And we did
look at you
pretty
guys.
solid. We did pretty solid. A few little touch-ups that needed to be done. So Rochelle, at one point, while I was doing some of the touch-up work, Rochelle was doing the trim.
Right.
Okay. So she's doing the trim, which is white. And so anyhow, she had to go run some errands. And I said, okay, I'll do the ceiling while you're gone. And so I get the ceiling paint, I open it up, I go, and I only got like a half gallon because I didn't need a whole lot. And so I got 2 quart containers of ceiling paint. So anyhow, use up the one can of paint, get done. And I look down, I'm like, oh, the other can's open. The other white's open. Great. And so I pour it out and then start.
Different white.
And here's the deal.
It was a high gloss.
When you're painting, it doesn't look good until it dries.
Right. Yes.
I know.
So you're like, I think I got everything. You just got to kind of wait, and then it all blends together at the end. And so I get done. I finish the whole thing. And then go downstairs watching a movie. Rochelle comes back.
Oh, God.
And I hear her huffing and puffing, and I'm like, what? She's like, it looks terrible. I'm like, what? I went up there, I'm like, damn it. I'm like, that ceiling paint sucks, man. This is just low-quality ceiling paint, and we got to redo this whole thing. And she goes, well, where's the other can of ceiling paint? I go, they're both right there. She's like, this is the trim paint.
Oh, my God. High gloss trim
High gloss trim paint instead of the flat ceiling paint, which I had used. And, of course, it happens while she's not there to supervise the little boy here.
Oh, God, did she want to kill you?
He wanted to kill himself.
She was very good about it. She was very good about it.
Did she
but
chuckle?
I know she wanted to kill him. No, she didn't chuckle at all.
So
There was no chuckling in that situation.
Is she going to paint it, or are
She
you
already did. She took the other can.
See, this is the problem because you get mad at yourself because you just think I gave something for him to do. He did it wrong. I should have just done it myself from the very beginning.
Yep. And you know what I did? I took Caroline to Dairy Queen while she was doing it.
There you go.
Did you get her anything?
She didn't want anything.
Oh, man.
No, I don't want anything.
Yeah, I would have said that too.
But yeah, leave it to me to mess that up.
Wow.
And I'm like, I was like, oh, cool. She opened the other can of paint. She opened the other, the other. It's white. It was sitting right next to the other can.
Same brand and all that.
I didn't look at the can.
The label?
It was open. They were both. The tops were open.
I know.
And they were both white. What more do you want?
Do you have any leftover paint?
No.
Because I'm going to need some.
Okay, why is that?
I went home on Friday. Are we done talking about your thing?
Yeah, that's
all right.
the end of story.
I didn't want to.
I need to buy some more ceiling paint, and
or use trim paint.
Yeah.
I took a nap on Friday afternoon, and my girlfriend came and tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Nick, sorry to wake you up, but the dining room ceiling is dripping." And so I came upstairs and looked up at the dining room. Dripping, yeah. And so listen, about 3 years ago, there was a pinhole leak in the one of the pipes underneath the shower, and it sucks when that happens or whatever.
Yes.
But we noticed that, and this was in the living room about 3 years ago. So I've dealt with this type of problem before. Saw that it's a huge pain in the ass. They have to clean everything out.
Call Rochelle.
First step, call Preston's wife. But when that happened, we figured out where the main vein to the house is, the main water pump or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm a plumber, clearly. Right. So this, we see the dripping on Friday, and I turn the water off, and it kind of slows down. I'm like, all right, maybe figured out what the problem is. Call some plumbers, and they come in, and they completely open up the ceiling, start scoping around, and there's, first of all, no pipes.
Yeah.
So they're up in between the dining room and my son's bedroom, and there is no piping there. And I live in a house that's about 90 years old, and I think, well, who knows where this water might be coming from. And the drip has slowly stopped. And Ben, my son, does have an aquarium.
Oh, no.
We got a new filter about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, no.
The filter started dripping, unbeknownst to any of us in the house, into the wall, and then into the floor of my son's bedroom, and then into the dining room.
So how is the filter dripping into the wall?
Well, that's a good question, Steve, and I don't really know, but something was faulty in the filter itself, and so
damn aquariums.
Yeah, and so it was just a slow drip.
You have a picture up?
He
Yeah,
does.
I'll show you the dining room ceiling.
Steve, look at how much of that ceiling they had to rip down.
Right.
Wow.
Dude.
And so it's just one of those things where, like, and we've talked about water damage in the past, right? But as soon as like water starts getting anywhere, there's just
you got to move it. You run the risk of having the rot,
right?
And you can't have the mildew. It can make you physically ill.
So exactly. So it went from the filter to the wall to the ceiling, wall to the floor, and then floor into the ceiling. And so and listen, it wasn't a busted pipe. There are many things that it could have been a million times worse. And
I hope you killed those fish.
Well, yes. And that was, and so my girlfriend and I emptied the entire aquarium. We put the 2 fish, because there were only 2 left in a sort of temporary tank. Redid, cleaned everything, got the tank reestablished, put the fish back in the tank yesterday. By last night, they were both dead.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I was just
kidding.
In this whole process, I thought that I was doing the right thing and saved the fish and made it to last night, and then they still sadly passed away.
Wow.
So it's just like, but Preston.
Did they know what was coming?
They did not. But to your point, like once we started figuring out what this problem was, it led to about 8 other projects in the house, and so we cleaned everything in the dining room, moved everything around, and that led to doing stuff in the living room, which led to doing stuff in the kitchen, et cetera, et cetera.
That's a bone job, especially you have anything with like with drywall, anything with paint, because if you do something, so it's happened. Who hasn't done the deal where they're painting a room or painting something, and then they scuff the wall as they're moving stuff out? It's like, God damn it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, all of that. It never stops.
I'm going to go to Andrew. Hi, Andrew. Good morning.
Hey, guys. I'm scared because of Dracula.
Of course you are. What's up, man?
So, Preston, I did the exact same thing that you did, but instead of the high gloss paint, I actually used the latex paint on all 4 walls on my living room. I took 4 hours to sand everything off, back down to the original, and I had to go back out and I had to prime it.
Is latex more exterior? Is that more exterior paint or?
No. So that'd be the latex trim paint. So
Okay.
it's not like you can just kind of paint over it. I had to sand everything back down. It took me about 4 to 6 hours to just sand the walls down, and then the very next day, I had to go back over with a primer.
Am I the only one who's like, hey, man, I think I can live with this? Yeah,
it's fine.
I'm like, this is going to be okay. I'll probably be okay with this.
Yeah, but, being a 30-year-old man, I collapsed my knees and was just completely sad and broken, and I just wanted to burn out and move.
That's when you go look into tapestries.
Thanks, Andrew. Yeah, just cover it up.
Yeah. Look I have a whole bunch of Celtic tapestries in my rumpus room.
Casey, you're the only one that's going to live with it. Steve and I are probably the only ones that will not even try, and we're going to hire someone to do it.
Yeah.
So I had painters paint a room in my house once, and they told me afterwards, obviously not when it happened, but they tipped over the entire can of paint on rug.
Oh,
and like it went like flying, so it was like all over
Oh, my God.
everything. But I mean, this is their job, and he was like, listen, it sounds like a bigger deal than it actually is. They cleaned up the whole thing. The rug was completely fine, and I
No
never
kidding.
knew. Yeah.
All right. I got a little bit.
Kill you.
I got a little bit on the carpet yesterday, and I'm like, I'll look up a video on how to get
well, you
paint
probably
on a
should have
carpet.
done that before it dried.
I know, but I didn't realize it until later.
By
Yeah,
the
I saw
time
it.
you'd found the place you wanted to use in the yellow pages, Rochelle had replaced the carpet.
It's funny you're saying this because, Press, I was telling you that story on Saturday about how when my parents were painting the outside of the house, they ended up spilling an entire gallon of paint on my bedroom floor. And we just stuck my bed over it. Like, so for the entire, my entire childhood, there was probably at least the size of a giant trash can lid of And not just like stain. I mean, it was like
Thick paint.
with thick paint. It was like, well, this is where the bed goes.
That's my contracting method. Yeah.
We found our spot.
What can you put on top of it? Why is there a table on the wall?
I'm going to go to Kyle. Hey, Kyle, good morning.
Hey, greetings from Lake Michigan.
Michigan. What's up, man?
Dude, I'm painting right now. I closed on the house of my dreams on Friday. Me and my girlfriend bought this house.
Yeah. Good for you. That's awesome, man.
Okay, we waited, saved money for a little while, bought a bigger house. I spent $1,000 in paint for one room since Friday.
One room?
What?
Yes, because it's like 20 by 15, the den that we have.
Yeah.
And primer is really expensive.
Wow.
Okay, so the last time I called in, it was when you guys were talking about advice you tell your younger self.
Yes.
I would warn any homeowner, buy a house that's already painted on the inside because this is so expensive and it's disgusting how much paint is all over me. I look like a toddler.
You know what, Kyle? I would say also this. I was seeing a report on how much things just in construction and paint and stuff, how much it skyrocketed. So,
well, the ceiling paint, just a half gallon, it was $50.
Holy hell.
Yeah. I was very surprised. Wow. Yeah, I can see you spending a lot, Kyle.
Are watercolors out of the
right?
Can't
Yeah.
use those?
Can we just do it?
I mean, just water?
Yeah.
We didn't want to drywall the house, so we're painting over the paneling, which looks really nice. But you have to prime the hell out of it because it's dark brown, and the primer's $50 a gallon, and we've used like 7 gallons of it already, and it still looks like a toddler sneezed on the wall.
Kyle, I had a friend who had a room, and they bought the house, so the entire room was like Mask of the Red Death, Edgar Allan Poe red.
Yeah.
And they wanted to paint it like a lighter yellow.
Yeah.
It took forever. It's almost impossible.
All right.
Yeah,
Thanks,
we had
Kyle.
paneling in our back room when we first got married, and that was we ended up just drywalling over it. We used like a thinner drywall, but rather than tear it down, we had no idea what was going on behind it. But then other rooms we just painted over the paneling.
Okay.
My cousin bought a house, and to save money, he painted the house himself, and he ended up spending so much money. I forget what it was at the time, but we were like, how did you spend that much money on paint? And he was like, well, I think he did I'm not kidding you, something ridiculous, 6 coats. So we joked with him. We're like, you made the room smaller. You actually put so much paint on the
So
wall.
much. But that whole issue of the amount of paint you buy and also storing it and then what you do with what's left over and the cans and get rid of it.
Oh, yeah.
We need a paint stream like a SodaStream.
Yeah.
Dude,
I still have all my colors in the basement, so if I need to touch anything up.
And I'm ready to get rid of them because we haven't touched squat up in all the years.
And that's a whole other issue.
So here's what you do. I've been told. I found out the best way to do it, and I actually went and bought some yesterday to get ready for this. And Steve, you'll love it. You need
Kitty litter. Yeah.
So you take the can, you open it up. If it's like half full or whatever, you pour cat litter in there. And it absorbs it. You let it sit outside for a couple days, dries, and then you just throw it away because you can't throw the liquid away. It gets the trash trucks all messed up once it compresses and makes a big mess.
That's why you can't.
Yeah, and they don't like it. I've been told that's what you need to do.
So we were talking earlier about how I just would look at it and go, okay, I think I can live with that. So this time last year, I was putting windows in the house because
why not?
Yeah, why not?
You always wanted floor windows.
And trust the guy who just presses buttons like this for a living to put windows in your house. And I had, next time you guys are over, I'll have to show you this one window because it's in the corner of the house. My neighbor comes over. He's like, you can't have it like that. I was like, yes, I can. I can totally have it like that.
You can live with it.
I'm just going to throw blinds over it and maybe some curtains, and you'll and that's just how it's going to be for the rest of my entire duration of living in this house.
Let me tell you something, and we're not kidding. And I know, Preston, you'll agree with this. When the Window Nation guys came over and they brought all those windows, and they are like resetting the frames, and they've got. I'm like, I would never do this.
No.
So painters that's one of the areas where I don't mind paying for it at all. Like I see the value in them coming and doing
that's
it.
one thing I will always do.
Rochelle was like, we need to get the rest of the house painted. I'm like, we are going to have someone do that for us, correct?
Oh, and
So
Nick,
it's like,
when you get your vetted painter, it's like a coveted thing.
Oh, yeah.
Can I have the name of your painter?
Oh, I got a guy.
I'm not sure I want to. It's like, may I sleep with your wife?
Well,
I don't know.
So my mom needed some work done in her house, and so she hired the guy that I hired, and I'm like, yeah, exactly. That's what it is, Steve. It's like a babysitter.
My painter.
Right. But Preston, I'm surprised that you decided to take this project on yourself, because, like, I just figured you'd be like, you know what, let's just hire somebody to do it.
One room you can do by yourself.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
If it's one room, I will do it. If it's multiple rooms, that's when you make that phone call.
It's one of the smaller rooms in the house, too, so
Okay.
it was pretty easy, and I managed to F that up.
Yeah, I was going to say, didn't you want to relax yesterday?
What a shiny ceiling you guys have.
When you turn on like a ceiling light, it would look outside, like outside of the Kodak Theater.
It's so bright.
Hang on, I'm going to go to Manny. Hey, Manny, good morning. Hi, Manny, you're on the air.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was holding for Kenny Knight.
You got him, Manny. What's up?
So a couple of weeks ago, my girlfriend asked me to borrow some of my spackle knives, and I asked her for what, and she said, I want to repaint my living room, and the ceiling's got some cracks in it. So that's how she gets me to start helping her. So I lend her the knives. I come over. I start spackling, and I start noticing that the ceiling looks like it's bowing a little bit. And I'm like, well, I got to fix this. So I cut a hole in the ceiling, and I look and I say, the ceiling framing isn't framed right. So from going to help her paint, I tore down the entire ceiling. And I discovered her house is made from this type of framing called balloon framing, which I didn't know about. And I ended up buying 16 joists, 2x8 by 14 long, to reinforce her entire second floor, which is undersized. These beams are undersized. $1,000 in lumber. I had to bring a friend over to help me re-level her ceiling because it's not level and it bothers me. And she didn't have a light in the ceiling. She had like a half-switch receptacle to a light. So I ran a new wire from her panel, new breaker, new switch, new can lights, new ceiling fan, reframed the structure, and I still haven't painted, nor have I finished taping and drywalling yet.
All right.
But this is the second week. We're up to $1,500 in painting the living room.
Manny, if you don't end up with a month-long hand job, you've got
my God,
completely screwed, because that's pro-level stuff you're doing.
And you can.
I hope she's listening.
All right, thanks, Manny. I appreciate it. It's so easy to fall into that. Well, I'm here. You know, we started doing this. We might as well do this too. You know.
And I'll just go all in. I'll just prep myself. I'll put on. You know, I got the buds in. I'll do a audio book of music or whatever, and I'll just keep going. But I mean, yeah, so often you start to do something, and you as you pull something out, you go, when did that happen?
Right.
And so you're off and running.
Hang on here. This sounds interesting. Dave has an idea for your unused paint. Hi, Dave. Good morning.
How are you guys doing this morning?
Great, Dave. What's up, bud?
Well, I'm a freak of recycling. So, you know, down in Delaware, we have a couple places where you can drop off old paint and things like that. And when I first worked in the art world, most of the muralists, when you say you got free paint, I don't know if you know the starving artist mentality, but when they say free paint, those guys come running. So they take the 1 gallons, the half gallons, any color, gray, white, purple, and they mix it together and make a new color, whatever that is.
Oh.
And they use that for their backdrop of murals and like, you know, Cecil, what's the avenue up in Philly where they paint?
Cecil B. Moore?
Graffiti, you know. Yeah, they do a lot of painting up there. And
Interesting.
So the kitty litter, that works, but it's really, you know, if you want to not kill the world.
Yeah, it's a waste. Yeah. So, Dave, how do you suggest, you know, that we find people who might want this?
I would go on, like, look at art places, go on graffiti sites. Up in Trenton, they have Trenton All Nights with Leon and those guys up there.
Yeah.
They're big time when they have an art event. And just try to round it up. They can, you know, figure out how to call me. I'm a little baby, but, you know, we'll figure out how to keep it away from the landfill. That's our bottom.
That's great. John Ladacker, he's a fan of the show and has actually incorporated the Preston Steve show and WMMR and a lot of his murals in the area. I'm sure if he doesn't take it, he would probably be able to point us in the right direction.
That's a good suggestion, Dave. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, because I've just had the stuff taking up space for years.
I hate it.
In my house, and I'm like, I'm like, well, I can't throw this away, and maybe we'll need it someday, which we never do. And I just knew I'd rather have somebody use it. So
or
that's
pour
a
it
good
down
idea.
the sewer.
Yeah.
Is that what you're supposed to do?
No.
no, don't do that.
Yeah, that's where I put my excess oil and gas.
Yeah.
No, you can't do that. Obviously, so you want to do it in the best way possible.
Yeah.
The kitty litter is a good idea, but if an artist
If you could do
use
that,
it,
yeah. My kid's old art teacher, Erica, she is she's an artist, obviously, and what she'll do, Steve, is she will go and cover up graffiti. She just does it on her own, so she's basically a graffiti artist herself. But she'll cover up like the gross graffiti with like flowers and stuff like that.
a big F word.
But it's flowery. The
And
way
it looks
she's,
nice.
It's really
calligraphy
really,
F.
Here, Sean is in paint sales. He can help us out with getting rid of paint as well. Hey, Sean, good morning.
Privilege.
Oh,
Not everyone can dispose of paint.
Everyone has fun. Never mind. What's up, Sean?
Yeah, so I've been in paint sales for like 17 years now. So there's a couple different ways to get rid of it. If you want to throw it out, like you said, fill it with kitty litter, put it in the trash. Most townships and municipalities will take it.
Yep.
A lot of townships, cities, municipalities actually have paint drop-off days, like chemical drop-off days. So you just have to look at your local town where you can take and drop it off. Or like the caller before just said, find an art school. A lot of times they'll take donations.
Okay.
Or the anti-graffiti, it's called the Anti-Graffiti Task Force in Philadelphia. A lot of times they'll take donations as well. What they do is they over graffiti.
I never knew this. So
Anti-Graffiti Task Force. Okay.
there's Uncle and Anti-Graffiti.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. That's excellent. Thank you, Sean. We appreciate it.
No problem.
All right, we'll see.
Good suggestion.
A few people are texting and suggesting also Habitat for Humanity.
Oh, okay.
They love used paint, and then there's another one that
You can use that paint to put graffiti on those houses.
Right.
And then I just also was told that if you put your leftover paint on Facebook Marketplace, my buddy's wife did that and said all their paint was gone in less than an hour.
Along with their car.
Along with their car.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That's cool. Look at all these great suggestions we'll forget. So try to remember whatever one appeals to you.
Yeah, I like that.
How do I get rid of my giant broken microwave that's been taken?
I think you do what Kathy does and
it's
put it on your
broken?
neighbor's porch.
What's that?
It's broken.
broken, yeah.
Throw it in the trash.
I don't think you can. I think it's like a.
It depends on who you have. Oh, you think it's an environmental thing?
Yeah.
No, state law requires you make it part of a robot.
That's a good question. Can you throw a microwave away? Because sometimes, there's materials in things like refrigerators and so on that need to be taken care of. Nick's going to do this weird thing. He's going to look on Google.
Wait a second.
And find
How do you
out
spell
how
Google?
you do that. While he's doing that, I'm going to go to Steven real quick. Hey, Steven, good morning.
Gadzooks.
Gadzooks, buddy. What's up, man?
I'm actually at Home Depot now picking up paint for a job that I'm on. I own my own home improvement business. But I was listening to what you were saying, and when you paint a room, always paint from top to bottom. So if you know you're going to have to do the ceiling anyway, just start with the ceiling, cut in, and you don't have to be like, messy or clean. You could just be messy on doing the top because you don't have to worry about the walls. Then you go back and do the walls like you did without even having to tape it off, and you shouldn't have to worry about going back.
That's good advice. Yeah, it was something that would seem so obvious because when you don't have to worry about it dripping or whatever, you're good to go. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
Also, don't ever buy a quart of paint. Always buy a gallon because of the price of it. You bought 2 quarts. You probably spent more on the 2 quarts than you would have on the 1 gallon.
Okay. I was just thinking I didn't want to have too much and waste it, but now I know I can donate that.
It's always better to have extra in case you needed to go back and touch up
Right.
later down the line. But also, if you guys were just trying to get rid of the extra, I didn't even know about that, too. That was good information.
Do you know what's also good, Preston? Is
Thanks, Stephen.
use Paint Helper, I find.
Paint
You
helper.
mix it in.
You add it with real paint, and then you get even
it's
more.
like breading and stuff, but it works.
All right. Well, anyhow. Interesting. Sounds like common issues that people have. I'm glad we started to find out how we can get rid of excess paint. By the way, it says here, Casey, about microwaves. They're often classified as electronic waste and as such cannot simply be placed out with trash or tossed in a dumpster. Consult local regulations. That will help you identify whether there are any specific directions listed for microwave disposal.
There's usually an e-waste day here in our building.
There is.
And so I think it's like once a year or whatever, but I brought in like, just random old electronics that I have at home, and it's a recycling program that this building will set up. So ask Tony Perone down the hall, and she can let you know.
I think there's a place near me in the Lawrence Park Industrial Center that I might be able to drop it. Or my buddy's getting work done in his house, and he's got a dumpster in his driveway.
People love when you...
I'm just going to throw in there.
Yeah, in his. Yeah, I'll just throw it in. All right, we're going to take a break. Thank you for your calls. We appreciate it. When we return, Mr. Michael Yo. Hey, Yo. He's going to be joining us because he's got a special on YouTube that he wants to tell us about and more. So stay. And we've also got to go through some of the MMR Madness 2022, which starts today at noon. And it is sponsored by Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram City. So we'll get set for that, too. Stay with us. Theft at the store. So they are looking for Elvis with a fake vagina. How about one of our favorites, Lindsay Lohan? She seems to be vying for Liam Hemsworth's attention after following his split from Miley Cyrus.
This he played Thor, baby.
No, that was the other.
Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, this is Liam.
There's two of them?
Yeah.
God damn it.
Liam was in the
Hunger Games.
The Hunger Games. Thank you,
I got
Dave.
the wrong one.
Liam appears to be the only single remaining in a quick, fast Hollywood recoupling. Miley has moved on with Caitlyn Carter, who just split from Brody Jenner, who is now with Josie Canseco.
Oh, my God. You know, if he really wants to throw it back in her face, Liam should get with Caitlyn Jenner.
That would be...
What's your name, hot stuff? Are you Thor? Hunger Games.
That would be wonderful. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm hungry.
Hungry for some games.
Lindsay,
let's play hide the pickle.
So here's what happened. Lindsay hit on Liam in the comments section of an E! News repost of a selfie of Liam and Chris Hemsworth.
Oh, my
OMG.
God. You need a forensic scientist to backtrack this.
Who watches this stuff?
By the way, Lindsay, there was... it's all gone south. The smoking, the hard living. She ruined everything.
So the E! News account captioned the selfie, "It's an age-old debate, Chris or Liam Hemsworth." And then Lindsay responded in the comments, "Why didn't we meet in Sydney or Bondi?" That's it, folks.
Okay. That's the flirt. That's the big flirt.
There it is, man.
All right.
I got sense and time off.
Liam and Chris.
You can make me a Vegemite sandwich. Because you come from land down under. Women thunder, men plunder.
And Liam and Chris have been hanging in Australia since the split.
Let's hang. Let's pet some dingoes.
So what?
Pet some dingoes.
Oh, pet some dingoes.
What you thought you heard?
I didn't know what that was.
It's Australia.
I heard Pants and Dingoes.
Pants and Dingoes.
It's a great it's an Aboriginal vaudeville team. I'm Pants and I'm Dingoes.
Yeah. Break out the didgeridoo. It's time for Pants and Dingoes.
I'm sorry, I didgeridoo.
Yep.
Waka waka waka.
That's the punchline.
Those are the jokes. And then instead of like a slide whistle, that's what they play. The Aborigines like, yeah, it's good.
Do you remember the squirtable butter used to come in a thing?
Yeah, butter spray.
Is that what?
I can't believe it's not butter.
There's an actual like liquid, almost
Really?
like
liquidy
like the way you
butter.
dispense mustard.
It was more back
that.
in the 80s probably, and if you had a waffle, you could go blink, 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 blink in each little.
Okay. I had a waffle.
Each little
I'd eat it
crevice.
in the morning. Yeah, there we go. Parkway.
Need butter in every little square?
You do.
If you're
you're a man.
If you're a man. No.
Okay.
No, I obsess about little things like that.
Okay.
It's just like
So your answer is yes, you do.
Yeah, I have a butter memory with Preston that is probably 19 years old. Do you know what it is?
Memories.
Butter memory.
Preston, do you remember the butter memory?
That's probably 19 years old.
19 years old.
Butter memories.
You would have to butter memories. You would have to give me a hint.
Me, you, Steve, and Marilyn.
Wow.
that wraps it up.
Butterfest,
We did a show
1998.
for 3 years together.
Media Court Diner.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
You know the butter memory?
Yeah.
Oh, well, do tell.
So we're sitting there, and it's after we had done a show, and we're having lunch, and there was
We're all just getting to know each other, by the way.
yeah, we're all getting to know each other, and so they had a little ramekin full of butter, which is a small dish, And so I guess it was a ball of butter or something like that. And we're just talking, and I just reach out and grab it and just squish it with my hand, just to be outrageous,
provocative.
I'm like, ooh, butter,
Yeah.
and I did that, and he died laughing.
I was like, what? I wish I would have done that. That looked fun.
Butter memories.
But if I owned a diner and
I dine in the morning
and I was serving waffles, there would be a special little spray that I would put melted butter in so that you could go.
You would keep it like you could even have it as you could have the way you have a mug warmer where your butter could be on it and with the pump so that you could dispense that
Now
way.
it would need to be more like misty,
Like a fire hose?
No, like
a spray bottle.
Like a spray bottle, like you would spray your indoor plants.
Like a spritz.
I disagree. I think that the butter, like the spray butter, you're lessening the quality of the butter product. And if you're going to have like actual butter, you're going to need to have like a vat of melted butter. This is your diner, so I'm not trying to tell you how to run your business.
You open your own diner next door and do regular, normal, boring pats of butter.
I kind of want to work with you, like almost like as if I was your therapist, and to make you okay with not having butter in every square. Like it's all right.
No, I know.
It's still going to taste good. You're going to get enough butter.
Believe me, I've
Touchstone Pictures. He had to have butter in every square until a concerned therapist came into his life. My name is Romano. I think I can help you.
Then we need some good music, like
yes,
Peter
inspiring.
Gabriel,
Salisbury Hill.
Salisbury Hill. Yeah. See if you can pull that. So the serious part when he realizes he has a problem.
Oh, no, I can't even get it together anymore. Every time I go into the diner, I start trembling like crazy. I think I know someone you can talk to. And then she came into his life. My name's Romano, and today's the day we start making changes. From Touchstone Pictures, the story of a boy who learned now how to not have butter in every square of his waffle. Butter Squareless Waffle Boy.
Butter Squareless Waffle Boy?
Or something to that effect.
It's butter therapist.
I feel like I already went through this with Jace. Like at breakfast time. It's okay, honey.
Unbutterable.
Is that the name of the movie?
Yeah.
I'm doing it!
Take away the last of our passes for the Cream of the Scream, stop number 2, Base Motel Haunted Hayride, tonight at 6 o'clock.
Such a good time.
It's going to be a beautiful night tonight.
Yes,
by the way.
absolutely.
Just cloudy skies, a little bit cool, perfect for getting your ass
funk on
destroyed by being scared. Why did I just say get your ass destroyed?
What the hell are they doing down there?
It's terrifying.
There's half of Bates Motel will rip your butthole to shreds. You'll be crapping blood for a month.
3 callers right now.
Look at that. It's my sphincter.
263 WMMR. Oh, my God. We'll be back in a moment.
Preston and Steve.
On 93.3 WMMR.
You know him from movies and streaming shows, and of course, one of the best podcasts in the world. And we're happy he's back in town. Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Maron is here. Hey, Mark.
Am I on? Is it on?
It is on.
And comedy. They know me from comedy.
They do.
All
That's
right.
why you're at the Miriam tonight, man. We were checking our records, and I think the last time you came by for a visit was in our studio in 2012.
I know. Look at us all turning old. Look at a bunch of old men now.
That's why you got to shave your head.
I do? Is it time?
What happens is it at least removes that visual cue, So
then you're just the ageless bald man.
Exactly.
How old is that Buddha?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, you look good, Buddha.
Yeah. But I don't know when it happened to me though. Like I'm just starting to notice it now. For years,
you
I was
look good though. No, you look good. I'm going to say I'm going to put you in the age-defying category, and I think because you have an iconic mustache.
Oh, is that what's happening?
I think that's it. Yeah.
I finally have an iconic mustache.
Yes, I think because you can be drawn with your facial hair. You're in one of the rare class of people, celebrities, who can be defined by their facial hair. Just in a sketch.
I used to do the sort of a soul patch zapper thing. Now I got some. Now I got a full beard going. But I think I just noticed it a couple weeks ago. I think I swept one maybe last might have been last Wednesday. I woke up old. Like I feel like everybody hits that moment where you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, it happened. I don't know when it happened.
Do you know what it is? It's like sometimes. Why does that jiggle now?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it is.
Are you jumping up and down in front of the mirror? Look at me. It's all going. It's all jiggling.
That's it.
Something hurts that didn't hurt before.
That's happening.
And the time to recover takes longer.
Yeah, if you ever do recover, it's the living with the hurting. You know what I mean? Like, I guess my toes are like that now. Yeah, but I feel all right. I think so.
You're in good shape. You've remained in good shape for quite a while.
It takes work, man.
You know, I was watching, Mark, a documentary just over last weekend on Sam Kinison, and you go back to that. And I think of all the ways, and knowing you were going to be in, the bizarre, fluidity of life, and you're in that prominently.
I was.
Yeah, you're mentioned many times. Yeah, in the beginning. So the
where is this on?
Yeah, it's Prime or something. So, but long story short, if you look at your career the way it's firing now, it's got to be wild to be where you were back then, to gone through all you've gone through.
Yeah.
The book is out. Waiting for the Punch. The shows, the podcast, interviewing the president, all of this stuff. Do you have time to take a breath and absorb it all, or do you just keep going?
I'm trying. I'm trying. I'm experimenting with experiencing peace of mind. And happiness, because I'm told it's beneficial to us, and that's what we're working towards. It does get to a point where because things turned around for me. Not later in life. I'm not like, 70, but I mean, my success came in my 40s.
Yeah.
And it does make a difference. I know people are like, they say, like, does success really make a difference? Yes.
Yeah.
It does make a difference in terms of, because you spend so much time committed to something. Like with comedy, I mean, that's all I wanted to do, and that's all that I really am. And when you do that, after a certain point, there's no plan B. You get 20 years into something, and all of a sudden you're like, well, I could always... Oh, man.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
There's nothing there. What the last job I had was a really legit job. I was a grill cook, in college, I think, before I committed to comedy. Or I worked at a coffee shop somewhere. So it's not lost on me that it's sort of amazing that I've pulled it out in the second half here. But I am trying to appreciate it. Yeah, I'm trying to do nice things. I'll go ahead and fly first class if that's okay. And,
yes,
and the other
treat yourself, because you don't want to be that guy who shuns all.
No, I don't. But I also have that brain of a comic where it's sort of like, I don't know when this money's going to go away. I don't know when the work's going to dry up. I don't know if I'm going to get that club date.
Right.
And I still have that survival kind of mindset.
Do you know what was very, very telling was, and I always reference it because I think it's probably as true a thing as you'll ever see, is Joan Rivers in her documentary right at the end there. She had her book. Her schedule, and there was open space, even at her career, with the way everything was going. I got to fill that in. It says a day open. I got it. Right? So it never leaves you, does it?
It doesn't. No, but I'm always pretty busy. I'm like doing the comedy, and then I do the TV show now, the Glow Show. We got one more season of that.
It's a great show.
Yeah, it's a fun show. And then the podcast
and Joker. All this stuff. So, I mean, that's.
I got a hot, like a tight 40 seconds in Joker.
Hey, you got more than Brian Callen.
Callen's like, is that him?
Yeah. Yeah, he got more than Gary Goldman.
No, Gary Goldman was kind of featured, but he's doing his act.
Yeah, I love him, by the way.
Well, it was funny because there's this whole thing where I did it was a longer scene with me and De Niro. Like it wasn't the whole movie, but we did a walk and talk thing heading up to the dressing room where we enter, and that's the scene in the Joker. But there's a whole other thing where I'm like, how you doing? What's going on? Let's not do this.
They excise that?
Well, because I asked the guy, Todd Phillips, I said, before I saw the movie, I said, am I in it? Did I make the cut? He goes, well, we cut the walk and talk. And I was like, all right. He goes, we had to, because he said, there's not a scene in that movie that doesn't involve the Joker.
Yeah.
So it's completely from his point of view, or he's always in every frame. So anything that didn't involve him, that he wasn't in, they took out. And it made sense to me. Okay. And he said that one, like that scene, that walk and talk, had nothing to do with Joker. So they really...
I guess it makes sense.
Yeah, it made sense.
You had a funny observation on Colbert you were talking about.
Because like... Yeah, I mean, I get this opportunity.
It's De Niro. It's
Right.
freaking De Niro.
Well, people I'm fairly critical of Marvel movies, and I get, I've gotten a lot of pushback.
Well, as you can see, we're fans.
Yeah, but I get a lot of pushback from the grown male nerd community.
Yes.
Has it gets very mad at me. But when they found out I did Joker, they're like, "No, you're a hypocrite," and they're very excited that they think they won something.
Yeah,
but
we got him. We converted him.
No, they were like, this guy's opinion means nothing.
Right.
He's a sellout. but the bottom line is, you get a call from your agent, and they're like, "You want to do a scene with Joaquin and De Niro?" I'm like, it's in a comic movie. I'm like, "No, I didn't." Yes, of course. What am I? Of course, I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
Right.
So, all right. Can I ask you what your stance is on these comic movies? Because are you up there with like how Bill Maher feels about them?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, Bill has a tone.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's delicate. That's delicate.
And I don't know if I'm within that tone.
Okay.
I mean, I think you could put me in the mildly condescending.
Right. Sure.
I have a problem with it culturally, because I do believe that there's a fanatical sort of commitment to them. I do believe that because of their popularity, they do push out other entertainment options. And I do believe that, I don't know that as a grown-up, I've earned this age that I'm at. I don't want to feel sort of bullied to go see children's movies.
Okay. So I understand that. I understand that
because people who like those movies, even if they're grown-ups, they're sort of like, come on. They're almost like the missionaries for them. There's just like a bunch of Disney stooges, who are trying to tell you it's like this is their life.
Well, right. I've been a fan throughout all my life, and so it attaches to pivotal moments of my childhood.
That. Sure.
But I understand it's the same way vegans try to push, the whole thing. And I
think one is more healthy. Like I don't think you're getting any health benefits from the Avengers movies. Well, Batman's like the DC Marvel's different. And I've used that joke. Like when people were like, "Yeah, you're doing it's a DC movie." So, it's a little darker, a little more grown up. More grown up, yeah.
I do understand it because I love the movies. Yeah. I'm not a comic book guy. I didn't read the comic books growing up, so I don't have this like long vested interest in like, oh my God, it's finally happening.
I think it's a belief system.
Right.
I mean, these guys have been reading. Go ahead. Sorry.
But no, my wife doesn't watch any of them, and I tried to have.
I think that's something a lot of men say.
But I tried to have this argument with her. I'm like, no, it's really, really great cinema. But now, like hearing you talk, I'm like, okay, you know what? Listen. You're allowed to not be into them, and I need to just kind of like drop it right then and there. Like, okay,
wow, I think if this feels like some sort of peace talk.
We've made a breakthrough.
Yeah, I mean, you're just going to drop it right there. That's interesting. You sure you don't want to get online with an army of your peers?
No,
and talk
it's
about
too much work, man.
That's an argument nobody's ever going to win. So that's what gets me is why have that argument? Maybe just for the catharsis of having the argument itself.
No, I tell you why. And my producer Brendan has explained
it seems like just recently our next guest was on our program, doesn't it?
It does.
That's because he was.
He was.
Yeah. We'll talk to him anytime, man. And he's on this time to chat about the fact that he has a new special, which is now available on YouTube, and it is called I Never Thought. Please give some love to our friend, Mr. Michael Yo.
Hey.
Yo. What's up, Michael? How you doing?
What's up?
Nice to see you, man.
Good to see you guys, too. I'm so excited to be on, and I really appreciate you.
No problem. We're going to talk about the special. How was your weekend, by the way? Did you have a good one, man?
The weekend, I went to Rhode Island. I was performing at a comedy club up there called Comedy Connection, and it was incredible. Not Rhode Island, but the crowds. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Rhode Island can be pretty nice, too.
Listen, I went to, for the first time, per Nick's suggestion, I went to Newport, Rhode Island. That's because great. We were coming back. My daughter and I went up to Maine to go to Acadia National Park, and we were going to take a 2-day drive back. And I was like, should I go to Providence, Rhode Island, stop overnight? He's like, no, go to Newport, Rhode Island. That is a gorgeous town. I don't know if you've ever been there or not.
I was in Providence, but I landed at like 1 a.m. So I didn't get a chance to see the city at all. But the crowds were incredible. And I love it, man. I just love traveling. And then I'm moving today. Right after this, we're loading up the trucks that come in, and our new house is finally done. It took 2 years to build, but it's finally done.
So what are we looking behind? We're looking at you right now on Zoom. Is that a picture or is that your actual backdrop? Are you all
Because you have your.
Oh no, this is real.
Oh, real.
This is a basketball signed by Jay-Z. It should be in a case. I don't know why it's just out. Like that.
Look at your basketball shoe collection there.
Yeah, you got some.
Oh, I'm a huge Jordan fan.
Oh yeah,
I'm a huge Michael Jordan fan, and I'm all about Jordans. I'm not a sneakerhead, but I'm getting there. And what's great is my wife is into it.
Oh.
So she loves buying me Jordans. So I'll just show up and she said, "Look what I got you." And I'm like, "Oh, I love you. I love you."
That's got to be like having a wife who's into paying for escorts for you.
These are my escorts. 100%. All these are my escorts.
No, they look great.
And I don't discriminate. I like all colors.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, so do you know what the white, red, and black ones are? Are those the fours? Those are retro fours? Okay.
These are the fours right here.
All right, because I'm looking. You got yellow retro fours as well.
Yep. And these, the designer that just died, Virgil?
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Is that a pair?
Whites.
Wow.
These are, and I was lucky enough to get these. So I got boxes and boxes of Jordans all around.
You can send them my way if you want.
Oh no, we're good. I think we're good.
You sure?
Yeah.
So I'm going to be at the Sixers are playing the Heat tonight in Philly, and at halftime I'm actually going to be playing basketball on the court at the game, and so I'm wondering which sneakers I should wear. I have my Retro 4 Flyknit blues, and then I got my retro. I got these black suede Retro 3s, and I'm just sort of torn on which.
Do you have these? These are the ones right here.
I wish I had those. I actually had the sky blue, like the originals, the original Air Jordan ones. I had the sky blue ones. I think my mom hit the daily number, the Pennsylvania lottery, and so I got a new pair of sneakers out of the deal.
What's crazy is these are going for like $1,200.
Crazy.
Oh my God! What's the most expensive pair you have, Michael?
Probably those. These are pretty. Like these are 15, 16 years old. Like these are super old.
They're impeccable shape.
Yeah, man. I keep care. I love them, man. So I'm a big sneakerhead. Yeah.
Well, you have to fuel obviously your sneaker lust with performing, and the YouTube special. I never thought. So we're familiar. Obviously, you're through town and you're performing. Were you in fact honing the material that is on this special?
So literally, I came into town and practiced the week. It was a week and a half after I went to Philly. I did the special.
Right.
Actually, a week. So Philly was my last stop, and then I taped it a week after that. And what's great about this, I own it. I funded it myself. Because Joe Coy was like, dude, you can't let other people control your destiny. You got to control it yourself. So this is why it's so important to me, because I did everything myself. It was a lot more work, but it's so fulfilling to see the comments on the YouTube special. The easiest way to get there is just michaelyo.com. But that's what feels so good is YouTube can be a vicious place. We all know that.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah.
And the response I'm getting, and it has way more views than I thought I would have at this point. So
what do
I'm just blessed. Man.
What do you incur worse if you leave comments up, you or if you shut them off, you get vilified for leaving the comments off. You can't win.
Yeah.
You can't win either way. But the thing is, and we were talking about this, is that you talk about having ownership and having, like, whether with YouTube. Years ago, that would have been, I guess they had to do a YouTube out. Now it is a really efficient way to get your stuff seen by a lot of people, and it's like when you used to end up as a celebrity on a game show. It's like, oh, you're done for, and now it's completely what you want to go for. It's
100%.
It's all flipped.
Yeah, I was talking to Sam Morril, Mark Norman. Those guys did this before me. And they go, you got to own it. They did it through Comedy Central, but put it on YouTube, own it. And what that does is it generates ticket sales, but it's a whole different game where it's like rappers back in the day, like 50 Cent, Eminem, when they first started, they made mixtapes because no big record label would sign them. I didn't even pitch this to a Netflix or anything like that because it needed to come out March 17th, 2 years after I went to the hospital. So it was very important. And the turnaround time was so fast. So, yeah, it's a whole different game. You can control your own destiny, and every dollar that comes in from this special, it goes to me, which is incredible.
No, that's cool. And the special focus that you mentioned going into the hospital, you had COVID, and you had a real bad run with it.
Yes.
And so, obviously, some of this involves that. But what is the general thrust of I Never Thought?
I never thought it takes you through the last 2 years of my life. And it talks about things I never thought I would see this last 2 years. Like I never thought me and two black friends walking into a bank would be told to put on a mask. Like I never thought that would happen, you know? So I never thought I would have a baby girl. I never thought my parents would never change and still be like, my parents are very ruthless, like as far as like just honest, you know what I mean?
Right.
And they're like that to my kids. So I talk about everything. I talk about almost dying in the hospital. So everything is in that special from the last 2 years.
You know, you raise a good point. I think a lot of people, I was talking to a friend about this, that I had a lot of people throughout my life checking me on things like, you're a dumbass for doing that. And I get the impression that people need more of that, you know, now and then to course correct. I mean, one of the great, my mother passed away when I was 21. I would have loved to have, you know, an extra decades of her telling me I'm being an idiot, because it does help, you know, those things that help when it comes from a place of love and people can correct you, it helps you. And a lot of people don't get that.
And what I love is when I tape special, or now everything's on video. Like when we were growing up, I think my parents have like 17 pictures of me, and that's it. You know what I mean? And it was never with both of them, because one of them had to take the picture.
Right.
You know? So now, you know, I have everything I do and put on film is literally for my kids when they grow up, so they can know me more.
That's awesome.
And that's what's so great about what we're doing today.
I want to ask you, because I've been watching the promos for this show that's on Netflix. Is it cake?
Yes, I'm on that show.
So this is, they take the people who, we have, you know, a couple people who are associated with the show who do these kind of cakes that look like photorealistic versions of whatever. This is a turntable or whatever. And that's the whole premise of the show, correct?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Yeah. And so have you done them yet? Have you?
Oh yeah. My episode is up right now on Netflix. Is it cake? Mikey Day, I believe that's his name. He's from SNL.
Yeah. Right,
He's the host of the show. Man, let me tell you, the lighting they do on these cakes and the real, you can't tell, man.
So
it's pretty amazing.
Like they'll put like 3 bowling balls and they'll say, one of these is a cake, and you have to figure out which one is the cake.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. And that's the whole premise of the show.
Yeah, and here's the thing that's so tough about the show. With the right lighting, you can make anything look real.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And then they spin them out, and I'm noticing people now that are commenting to me, they're like, oh, well, you should look for something jiggling a little bit when the cakes come out or what. But you can't tell.
You can't. Yeah.
No.
So are your episodes out on Netflix now, or is it?
Yeah, my episode is out. It's episode 2.
Okay.
It's out on Netflix
I got to
now.
see this.
Yeah,
I got to
awesome.
check this out. Hey, I want to go.
Yeah, it's a great show.
I want to go to something we just kind of glanced over. You're moving. You're moving to another place. What, today, did you say?
Today, after this show.
Why are you so calm and collected right now? I'd be going insane on moving day.
Oh, well, it's done. Like literally this background, this is all that's left. Everything else is in boxes.
Oh, okay.
So this is it. Like when I'm done with press today, this all goes down and we put it into the new house. But
absolutely, as exciting as it is moving to a new place, I absolutely dread the move itself. It's just the biggest hassle in the world. And then unpacking all that crap is a whole other 6 months fiasco.
Well, you know, the most stressful part for me is the wife, because she is the one that's stressed out. Me, I never get stressed. I'm just like, we move boxes. My wife, you got to put them in the right place. We got to do this. We got that's what's stressful. That's what's stressful about moving.
I always recommend, and we just did it last time, move to a place that's about 7 minutes from where you were before. And so well in advance, you can load up your car and sort of piecemeal in the months leading up to it, just move stuff over and put it in its place casually. And then when anything big is involved, hire a company, because you will F it up. Yeah.
Oh, I said I was moving, but I'm not moving that.
Right.
No, I have. We have a moving. I am not touching a thing. I told my wife, this is the first move where we box it up, but then I'm done with it. They show up at the house and I'll tell them where to put it. Like,
there you go.
I worked too hard to do this again.
And
I can't do it again.
You said it's taken a couple of years. Did you have a house built? Did you go with that route?
So the company made our house and they messed it up.
What?
So they had to start all over. And then the pandemic was right in the middle, so they couldn't get any materials. Look, these are champagne problems. But
Right.
And they finally finished it, and it's 2 years later. But what's great is the benefit is like now the property value is like through the roof because the market went up. We got it super early, and it took them forever to build it. So it actually worked out great.
Building a house from scratch can be if you're
daunting.
if you're very fanatical about every aspect, it can be amazing. But it can also be I couldn't do it. It would drive me out of my mind.
You know what's crazy is my wife would ask me questions about the house. Oh, what do you? It doesn't matter what I think.
No.
Literally everything I said, she did the opposite. You know? So it's kind of like, she would go, what color do you think this needs to be? Oh, I like that. Oh, okay.
Oh, and
no,
then you can run into the problem if you just say, no, whatever, you do it, honey. No, they want feedback so they can decide something else. So, yeah.
Isn't it crazy? They want feedback to say no to.
Yes.
Is it?
It is the mindset.
Well, because it's kind of like if you like it, then, ooh, no, we're going to go the other way.
It can't be good.
God, that's genius, actually, Kathy. I didn't think about that.
But we also, at the same time, we also tried to, I plenty of times I go, baby, no, you just do your thing. Do it. And it's like, no, I want your opinion. And then I give my opinion. It's just like she blows it off.
Have you arranged a superior style man cave?
Yes.
Okay.
So here's what's interesting about a man cave. Men brag about a 300 square foot room when the wife has the whole house, but we're bragging about we got 300 square feet to our own house. Anyway, yes, I do. It's a podcast room. It's my audition room. It's my TV room. It's my first official man cave because we've been in an Airbnb for 2 years.
What?
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
2 years.
That's a long stretch.
That's
wow.
Airbnb for 2. I didn't even know that you could do that for 2 years.
But let me tell you, the owners are very happy.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
But I'm sure that also, as a result, for the last 2 years, you've probably kept things pretty minimal, right?
Oh, my God. We have nothing in this house. Yes, very minimal. And here's the thing. In Vegas, at the time of the pandemic, we got a 3-bedroom house overlooking the strip for $1,700 a month.
Holy hell.
Wow.
Holy hell.
It was amazing. So we saved money. I'm telling you, it all worked out. I go up every night at the Comedy Cellar. I mean, it's easy to fly out of here. Life is amazing.
There are people paying that for studio, like
I know.
glorified studios.
It's funny. So Vegas, I love Vegas, but not necessarily for the town, but for how close it is to other things. I don't know if you go and enjoy all the other things that are within, a couple of hours. I'm talking about Grand Canyon, Zion, Bryce, and all that stuff.
The chicken ranch.
I don't like to hike, and neither does my wife.
Okay.
That is the most ridiculous thing in the world. White people love hiking. I don't know why that is, but you will never see black folks on a hill just hiking for no reason. I don't do that. My wife doesn't even do that. So we don't hike, but we do go to Utah. That's where I shot this new Apple show that's coming out in a couple months. And it was gorgeous. We stayed in Salt Lake City, but I did enjoy all the sights around there. So, but Vegas, let me tell you, outside the strip, it's freaking beautiful. You have Red Rocks. We live right on the Red Rock, in the Red Rock. So it's gorgeous.
It is gorgeous. And the thing with Vegas proper, I think if you're going, and I've always said this, 3 or 4 days, 4 is enough. Unless you're doing the outer stuff.
We have comics that come to the cellar, Comedy Cellar out in Vegas. They stay a whole week and they do 14 shows. And I'm like, man, and they go nuts.
Yeah.
Like, a week in Vegas is a long time. It's too much.
It's too much. Way too much.
Yeah. Wow.
Burns you up.
Hey, real quick, you mentioned the Apple show. Is that Amber Brown that you were talking about?
Yeah, Amber Brown. Bonnie. I mean, this is crazy. I get a call from Bonnie Hunt, the legendary Bonnie Hunt. And she goes, hey, we're going to audition you for the show called Amber Brown. So I turn in my audition, get great response, get a call back. And I'm thinking it's just a casting director. On the Zoom, up pops Bonnie Hunt. I mean, from freaking every movie.
Jumanji.
Legend.
Yeah.
It's her and like 10 people from Apple.
Wow.
And it's a live audition. And I nailed the job. I play an ex-husband that is trying to get back into his family's life. And Bonnie Hunt wrote it, produced it, directed it. I mean, the woman is phenomenal and doesn't get enough credit for what she does. But I'm so excited about it because it's a big leap into acting. And Like one of my best friends, that's a huge casting director in LA, said, no one wants to take the first chance on you, but everybody loves taking the second and third chance.
Right.
No, that's
So
cool.
this is my first huge opportunity. And after the show, Bonnie pulls me to the side and goes, you're going to work for the rest of your life on TV.
Oh, man.
And it meant so much.
Congratulations, man. Because
Oh my God.
the Apple
I'm
roster
so
is.
excited. And she made my character not funny the first year.
Yeah.
Because she goes, that's too easy for you. I want to show people you can really act. And then the second season will make you funny.
Wow.
But I want this to be a big, a career mark where people would watch and go, okay, that dude can act.
Man, that's awesome.
Good
That's
for
really
you.
great.
She's so giving and loving. I love her. And it's just
Excellent.
crazy to get texts from her every once in a while. Like, she watched my special and goes, she says some nice things. And I'm just looking at the phone, just going, Bonnie Hunt just texted me.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome, man. Well, the new special is called I Never Thought. It is now available on YouTube. You can do a quick search on Michael Yo, and you will find his YouTube page. And I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah,
so.
absolutely.
Yeah, and like I said, I funded this. I did it on my own. So every view, it really means a lot to me. So I would love people to check it out. And the easiest way to see it is michaelyo.com. Just
Okay. All right. Excellent. Hey, good luck with the move, Michael. We hope everything
Oh my
goes
God,
all right.
yes.
Yeah. And we'll, I'm sure we'll catch up with you soon.
And I do have to say to you guys, I mean, you've always supported comedy over the years, and it means so much for me to be on this show and what y'all do for the community of comedy. So I really appreciate you.
Our pleasure. Thanks, man. Michael Yo, everybody. He's the best. MichaelYo.com. That's great. I definitely want to see that. So another thing that I'm looking forward to is MMR Madness, which is taking place today, starting at noon. We got it underway. If you would like to see the draft and how that went and how we chose which bands we got behind, we have a video at PrestonandSteve.com, and it's all edited down, and it is a Zoom. Casey was emceeing, or he was hosting it and running the whole thing, and it was myself and Steve and Jackson and Sarah and Pierre and Pancake and Jackie and Brent, and we all got to pick our teams that are going to go up against each other for MMR Madness.
You nailed a coup right out of the gate by selecting Shinedown, who took everything last year.
We were lucky enough in the so we had alternated who got to start as far as the draft choices go, and in the 2000s we got to go first, and so we figured why not dive right in and take who won it last year and see if they could do it again, and that was Shinedown.
And then we had to, Preston, entertain the notion and remember the dynamic last time around, and I found myself bands that I thought, oh, clearly they're going to be the dominant band. Somehow, when that block of music is played, it depends on, okay, you're thinking of the full body, the full history of this band, but a lot of times the voting is influenced directly by what's being played in that block.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. And
if-
also-
if it kicks up a nostalgic memory, that band could take it.
And our listeners love upsets, right?
Oh,
and
yeah.
So like if it's fun for listeners sometimes too, like if they dislike Pearl Jam, it doesn't matter who's going up against Pearl Jam,
Right.
They're going to vote for that band. And that's really, it's, there's so many wild cards that come into play. You really don't know what's going to happen. And I enjoy that. I think that's
you
a
really
lot of fun.
That's why the Beatles aren't necessarily
Right.
An ace in your hand,
Right.
Because somebody could go, the Beatles were so big for so long. I want Dirty Honey to beat them.
Yeah.
Something like that, and it might happen.
Jackson got Tool, and for me, that's the dark horse every year.
Dude.
I always think Tool's going to do well.
Jackson and Sarah stole every single band that I personally
Yep, really?
love.
Okay.
Every single one of them. I was wearing a Van Halen shirt
Yes, you
while
were.
we were doing this.
Oh, man.
They took Van Halen. They took Rush. They took who was
Police?
The Police.
Oh, man,
Did
really?
they take the Beatles too?
No, Jackie Bam Bam took the Beatles.
Who took who poached Dave Matthews? Was it?
I think
That's Jackson.
Jackson.
Jackie-
Yeah,
Okay.
Dave Matthews is a 5 seed in the 90s region.
So let me run down the first few matches and we can kind of see. Now I haven't filled out my bracket yet, which I should probably do before it starts
Yeah.
at noon. But the first matchup will be the 2000s. So it's going to be Shinedown, which we have in our roster.
Yeah.
And Dirty Honey, which is Jackie and Brent.
And Brent, yep.
So it's Shinedown versus Dirty Honey. That's going to be the very first matchup.
What if
I think we're going to win handedly. But look at the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
It's been loaded with upsets.
Yeah, St. Peter's is a 15 seed, and they're in the Sweet 16.
Kentucky lost in the first round.
That's who. They
got beat. It was just unbelievable. And there's been a few other upsets. So it could go either way. So the second matchup will be at 1, and that's in the 80s region. Steve, it's Bon Jovi, which is Pierre and Pancake, against Motley Crue. That's you and me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think Crue can beat Jovi.
I think listen, I don't know, but I think if you get it depends again on the block. But I think this case with the Motley Crue, with the fight recently between Pearl Jam and Quasi
and
Fight,
Nikki Sixx,
and I think the
Pam
and Tommy,
Yep.
All of that, the nostalgia, all that stuff going on. Perhaps that will, knock Bon Jovi off the perch.
Let me ask you, Pierre is going to be hosting this matchup.
That's true.
Does he influence?
That son of a bitch.
But people might not like the favoritism.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And they might see it as fixed.
And they might go after him. But, Pierre loves his Jovi.
Pierre
loves
does
his precious little Bon Jovi.
with your puffed up hair.
Bovine Johnny.
No puffed up hair in Motley Crue.
Bovine Johnny. Yeah, you're right. Come on,
no
man.
puffed up hair in Motley Crue.
So I have a feeling, I think that's going to be the first upset because Crue.
He's going to be so devastated.
If that happened,
he
would dive off the roof.
Which, by the way, Crue is they're number 16 seed. I think that's a pretty low seeding for that band. And Bon Jovi is a number 1 seed in the 80s region. So we'll have to see how that goes. All right, then you have 2 o'clock. It's Metallica, which is Jackson and Sarah, against Bush, and that's Pierre and Pancake.
Oh, you can even just go home on that one.
And I think Metallica will take it.
Yeah, so we were vying for Metallica.
You were. Yeah. That was the one band I heard you guys talking about prior to the draft. But this is also so Metallica is classified as a 90s band, even though they kind of, got their start in the 80s. And this was the tough thing when you had a band that spans, especially in the beginning days, a couple of decades, which one do you put them in? But they really hit when the Black Album came out. That's when they really hit on a more commercial level.
Chuck said it was based on the aggregate height of the band members.
Oh, that's what it was. I have no idea.
Right.
No, Casey had said in our draft, he's like, look, this is we've assigned a decade for when they really hit their stride. Or had their most amount of success.
And people were like, especially Metallica, like Ride Lightning and Master Puppets. But it was the Black Album that really launched them into the stratosphere.
Yeah. In the 1970s region, you have Pink Floyd, which is
Jackie and Brent.
Jackie and Brent. And Jimi Hendrix versus Jackson and Sarah.
So Pink Floyd is a previous winner, yes?
I believe
no.
No?
Well, did they win the whole thing?
I think 1 year early on.
Shinedown beat them. I know that was the big controversy.
Yeah, I remember Breaking Benjamin, I think, won the first one.
Yeah. They did.
I believe Pink Floyd won maybe in year 2 or 3.
Well, you bring up an interesting point. How aggressive is the fan base?
Right.
So you take a Breaking Benjamin fan or a Shinedown fan can be very determined.
But I think Floyd will beat Jimmy.
Jimmy, listen.
Possibly. Hendrix is... That's one that I looked at, and I can't believe Hendrix is a 16 seed. But
I know
he was selected last, so
he just didn't do enough to prove himself.
All right, and then what is 8 versus 9?
So the 8 seed versus 9 seed.
Gotcha. Okay, so then we move on at 4 o'clock. You have the 2000s. It'll be Hailstorm, which is Jackie and Brent against the Black Keys, with which Steve and I have, and that's pretty evenly matched, I think.
Well, Hailstorm is they're the local team, right? So they're the Villanova, if you will,
right,
in this bracket. But the Black Keys, I know that you were really excited about picking those guys.
And then we have at 5 o'clock Guns N' Roses, which is a Preston and Steve pick, against U2, which is Pierre and Pancake. That's a tough one.
No, I don't. Is the bloom off the U2 rose, or do they still have the firepower? Guns N' Roses,
and Pierre's not hosting this matchup. So.
No,
yeah, it's at 5, so that'll be Jackson and Sarah, and they're more rockers. Although Sarah does love her some U2, I do know that. So we'll have to see how they pitch it. But that's I almost give in my heart I give U2 the edge. But with our audience, with the MMR rockers, I'm thinking Guns N' Roses. I'm thinking GNR wins. I like to vote for Guns N' Roses, please.
I think there are more U2 haters, and then so that way they could sway the GNR vote. Right?
I think there are a lot of GNR haters too.
You think so?
Yeah. I think GNR is on perhaps on an upswing as a sense of nostalgia. As a, what would you pay for this amazing record package?
But Guns N' Roses
sort of vibe.
They never put an album on my iTunes the way U2, and I can't get rid of that.
I think the GNR hatred came and went.
I think
you know what I
so.
mean? I think it was up for, and Pierre's beating that still to this day.
Is GNR? Are they the new Osmonds?
They very well could be. Like all of them, like even Jimmy. And,
no, not Jimmy.
Okay, not Jimmy.
That's a bridge too far.
Are there any? There's like no Slash haters out there, right? Like everybody loves Slash.
Yeah.
So,
And even
now his ex-wife.
Even Axl.
One person is like Slash.
Axl has especially now as one rock critic pointed out, he looks like an aging lesbian now with his.
And listen, when he covered for Brian Johnson and AC/DC, that won him some points.
Axl? Yeah.
That won Axl some points.
Okay.
There you go.
So, all right. Well, anyway, then after that, you have Pierre and Pancake. This is the 1990s matchup. Collective Soul.
All right.
Against Alice in Chains, and that is Jackson and Sarah. And you know what? And I know we kind of, I think there was a little bit of scoffing going on when they grabbed Collective Soul, but that band has got they have got a catalog, man. They've got a lot of great songs.
So again, what in that block when you hear that music played and you get they did that.
Yeah, when you hear Shine in December and God, the whole song after song from that band.
I think they have to play heavy, right? Because if you're going to if you're going up against
Alice in Chains,
you have to kind of like plug in and
right. But I think Alice in Chains with their roots and the
flannel, the coffees and the bass, these kind of things that you associate with the garage community.
They throw the fish in the market.
The fish and the diving from the stage and the wearing the big work boots. This kind of thing that you would associate with the 90s.
Flannel.
Yeah. Flannel and this kind of thing. With the coffee and the smoking and reality bites. That kind of thing.
Reality bites.
We like that movie.
I do.
I did.
Yeah.
Was it in Seattle? I mean, it didn't focus a lot on the grunge lifestyle with
They
Ethan
were
Hawke.
always smoking and drinking coffee. Do you remember that?
Yep. And Rolling Rock.
Because that's what you do when you're in the grunge.
Rolling Rock?
Mm-hmm. They were on the roof of that building drinking Rolling Rock. I remember clearly. Yeah. The drinking and the smoking. All right. And then the last one we'll mention, the final one of today, will be at 7 o'clock. It's the 1970s matchup between Sabbath/Ozzy. So that means both.
Yeah, he gets both.
The band and solo stuff to play, which is Jackson and Sarah, against Bruce Springsteen, and that is Jackie and Brent.
There are a lot of Bruce haters out there, and so I think Bruce loses this one.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think when you hear...
I'm with you.
I think when you hear anything, there's a lot to pick out that, again, that is in that confined, hey, here's the music against this music. I think Ozzy and Black Sabbath are going to take it.
Especially with MMR listeners.
Here's some text coming in. You too must be destroyed. I do not consent to... And it was supposed to continue somewhere else on these text messages. I don't see it. Let's see. Who else we have here? Preston gives you two the edge. LOL.
I heard that too.
Hey. Did I actually say that?
Say that, yeah.
Oh,
That's a
man.
good one. You didn't even know.
I didn't even mean to say that.
That's like giving the Beatles the Ringo.
I give him the double Ringo.
The double Ringo?
The double Ringo.
Okay. Here's a Bruce Springsteen sucks.
All right.
Let's see. Sounds like this bracket nonsense is completely arbitrary popularity contest.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
so what?
Sounds like you're a lot of fun.
It's a music contest,
Yeah.
purely subjective.
They were deep in Carlsbad caverns and found a document. says here Bon Jovi is not as good as Shine Now. No.
I see it's written in stone, right?
It's the Rosetta Stone.
Yeah, the Rosetta Stone. This one says, I always thought Springsteen sings like he has a hot poker in his ass.
Huh. All right.
Okay. All right.
That's a bunch of nonsense. What makes you say that?
All right.
But it is that kind of
It's fun.
subjective nature that makes it fun. Because again, that's why it's so fun to listen to. In those moments, you will find yourself being swayed.
Yes.
I know it happened to me.
Yep. So you can get to WMMR.com, watch the MMR Madness draft video. You can fill out your bracket while you're there. And then, of course, you'll be able to vote. Now, what I haven't read or seen, because we will not be running the contest, we are simply...
They wouldn't trust us.
We're observers, and that's it. We're listeners and observers. So I assume the texting, Marissa, you would know better than I, that texting is the way we're going to do the
Twitter poll.
All the texting is actually going to be on WMR.com and on the app. But I believe also if you text in, we'll send you the link.
Oh. Okay.
So we'll make it as easy as possible so everyone can vote.
And there's it's so easy. Even he can do it. And I assume phone calls, too, because that's a big fun part of it.
Absolutely. Pierre wants to hear from you, and he wants to hear your passion.
Yep.
For sure.
All right. It starts at noon, will you?
You know, I was watching the original Rocky was on Epix or whatever over the weekend, unedited and everything. It's great. But I forgot that's the first time, Case, I ever heard the phrase ham and egger.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. That was just a ham and egger.
I was thinking about Rocky V over the weekend, Steve, because it occurred to me that I actually paid to go see that in the theater.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and I was remembering, man, that's not a good movie. And
that's not as good.
Sly made some money off of me.
I want to thank you very much for seeing that movie. Remember when I was up on the roof? Yeah, that was good.
And that will, that's not even from him crying. That's from the
That's from Rocky
that's from the up on the roof. Yeah. What was the one that we have the isolate of him crying? Yeah. It was just one little something like that.
Yeah, I think
Wait.
it's this one here.
Okay. You set up.
All right.
Yeah. That's it. Wait a minute. Where's the other one over here?
Bottom left.
Okay. Oh, it doesn't work with the.
Will you?
Nell, would you shut up? We're trying to have a conversation here.
They go into the woods and find Stallone in a neighboring cabin. Stopping by for company.
And Steve, right when their eyes meet, the beautiful music starts. They found each other's soulmate.
The love is born.
Oh my God. Oh.
He gives her a Hallmark card and it just says, yeah.
Oh, dear Lord.
Okay.
MMR Madness. All right. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Starts at noon today. Pierre will be in to get it teed up and ready to go here in a little while. Let's take a break. We shall come back when we return. The bizarre file stories are on the way, so make sure that you stay with us. We'll be right back.
Preston and Steve.
marginalized in a way. The nerds were always sort of the brunt of the joke.
Yeah.
And now they own culture.
They do.
And they're not going to let it go. So anybody that's going to start pushing at it, they're like, no! And it's always shrill and awkward, and they're having feelings. And
well, you look at like Scorsese just caught.
I think that was a reasonable.
Yeah, and he's
assessment.
just saying. And listen, if Martin, you certainly have to entertain Martin Scorsese's view on things. It at its basic core, it's fun. That's what it is. It's a diversion. It's a harkening back nostalgically to for me for childhood.
Right.
But it's not a I don't want to leave childhood. But I know what you're saying.
I get bored.
Yeah.
I'm bored.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? The stories are simple, and I get it. Like I know they're like you got to see the one with Hugh Jackman and what's that
Logan.
one? If you want to start, because I'm going to try to watch some.
Yeah.
Just for
watch Logan.
But I think I'll start at the beginning. I've seen Iron Man.
Yeah.
I saw that, and I think that maybe Iron Man. I don't know.
It's okay.
You don't.
It's really okay.
Again, it's funny because we deal with obviously the station plays music and a song will come up and it's the ultimate subjective thing. How do you respond to music? But
it sucks.
People speak it in concrete. This is great.
Yeah. It's the same with comedy. It's the same with everything. These things are subjective. You don't have to like them.
Right.
But I mean, my problem is with those movies generally, I really do get bored. I mean, if you're not thrilled by dudes flying around and throwing buildings and rocks and cars and things, I don't know. It was never my thing. And I read some comics, but even the comics I read when I was a kid were not those. I read like Swamp Thing, and then I went into the Gaiman stuff, Hellblazer and Sandman. I liked
good stuff.
I liked a lot of the underground world of comics. I like Daniel Clowes. I like that guy. What's his name? Burns, who does the 8-Ball comics.
So what do you
Peter
like?
Bag.
Do you like horror movies and stuff?
Nope.
Or you're not into that stuff?
No, I
like
have
monster
no
movies?
patience. No patience for that. Like, just kill the guy. I don't know what that feeling of suspense is not one of my favorite entertainment feelings.
What in the pop culture realm? What's your go-to genre? What do you most find yourself being drawn to when you go to a movie? If you have,
that's a good question. I don't know. I've been watching Succession.
I just started watching that.
I love it.
Everyone raves about it. Yeah,
well, the way they talk to each other is amazing because
Yeah.
it's not real, but it's like there's the emotional weirdness of the whole thing is great. I just rewatched the entire Breaking Bad.
Me too. Well,
you did?
Yeah. Well, Preston and I did a year or so ago, and now I've watched the last few episodes again because of the Netflix movie that's coming out with Jesse.
I went to the premiere.
Oh, how was
it?
Can we ask?
Whose phone is going?
It's yours, I think.
Is it mine?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. Dude, that happened at the end of Hamilton on Tuesday night.
Hey, it's time to wake up.
Yeah.
Is it your alarm?
It's 7:30.
Oh, my God.
I almost didn't wake up because I thought I said it and I didn't say it, but I woke up anyways. Yeah. The movie's good. It's good. It's almost like I think he made it just because he's like, these guys were so great. Let's just make one more movie.
Okay.
I can
one more
see
thing
that.
with this.
I'm fine with that.
But the premiere was great. I don't usually go to a lot of those, but because I'm on a Netflix show and I've done specials and I've been on a few of their shows, they invite me, and I was like, I'm going to go to this one.
Yeah.
So I wore this shirt, the one you kind of.
I love he's wearing a denim shirt that I really like.
Well, thank you. I mean, I know it's stiff. I know it's new because I knew the way you said it. It's like you're like, wow, where'd you get that shirt? It was a compliment, but they were sort of like a little new. It's a little. Yeah. Maybe you might want to break that in. But
Is it itchy?
Where'd you get that brand new denim shirt?
Had an edge to it. Yeah. You just got that, didn't you? It wasn't a full-on compliment.
Yeah.
Like, that's a denim shirt you got.
That thing is really denim, isn't it?
In the world of denim, that's passive aggressive.
Look, we got to work on him.
That's hilarious.
But the movie.
Yeah.
So I'm still like crazy because I still get kind of starstruck, and it's just kind of because I walk the carpet. I don't have to, but I'm not in the movie. But then you get that picture. It's like also at the premiere, I was there, But
I'm sure Netflix encourages you if you can because you're a Netflix.
Yeah, and I wore this denim shirt. That was the first. There it is. There's the picture you got. See, that's the denim shirt on its first appearance publicly.
Same pants too.
It is the same pants. I got 4 things, dude. I don't I got two pairs of pants I wear at any one time and 3 shirts.
You're stylish.
I love the Us magazine where they say he really loves his, and it's like 5 pictures of you in the denim shirt.
And that's it. Yeah. Well, I'm breaking it in. So, but I get starstruck, and also there's a weird mixture of like, do people know who I am, and can I approach them? There's some of them I do. Like I saw Ed Begley there. Ed Begley gave me a big hug. And that's not
Ed
nothing.
Begley's great.
That's not nothing, huh?
Yeah.
Yep.
And then I saw Jonathan Banks, who plays Mike.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if he does know me, but I walk up to him because I grew up in Albuquerque, and they shot the whole thing in Albuquerque.
Yeah.
And my buddy from 2nd grade lives in an apartment building that Mike just got a place in because they shoot out there all the time with Saul and everything else, and they've become friends. So I walk up to Mike. I'm like, my buddy Dave's your buddy, and he's like, oh yeah. And I'm like, and then I realize like he doesn't have no idea who I am. Like I don't think he does.
I don't think he gets starstruck.
Oh my God.
No,
Jonathan Banks. He does not impress me as the type that's he's pretty nonplussed.
But yeah, definitely. But the thing that got me, like, Cranston was nice to me because he's been on the show, and I saw Jesse Plemons, who I've not talked to, but he's he was, he knew I was, and we talked. I listened to me. I'm like, some of them know me. Some of the celebrities know me. but
we get the same way.
I know, right?
Hey, we know David Faustino.
Yeah, he came here. Yeah. Was he here?
He was here.
Wow.
Kathy doesn't remember.
I don't remember.
Hey, Obama would know you. If you walked into a room and he was there, he would recognize
you. I think he might remember. Yeah.
That was pretty special.
Yeah, it was. The president came over. But 1 second,
I also want to find out. Yes, please.
So I'm at the premiere, and
so
I
many
hear
things
from behind me over at people are sort of talking before the movie started, and I hear Hank's voice. You got Hank from the cop in Breaking Bad. And I didn't even know the actor's name, but I'm like, there's Hank! I want to talk to Hank! Like, when I interviewed Cranston, I swear to God, when I did it, I was so immersed in the show, it was years ago, that I could not separate him from Walter White. Yeah. And throughout the entire interview with him, I'm like, I think I need to talk to Walter. So there's certain characters that really impress. Like, Hank's such a great, that guy's great. What's his name?
Dean something or other.
Norris.
Yep.
Yeah.
Great
character actor.
I felt myself excited. Like, there's Hank, and he sounds just like Hank talking to other people. But yeah, Obama is no Hank,
right?
But exciting. Yeah.
Speaking of Obama, the podcast WTF with Mark Maron. 10-year anniversary, man. You've really made that just a mainstay, and it's you do it right. You kind of do what we like to do as a radio show. We just have conversations, and we dive into whatever comes up. You have a basic idea of what you want to talk about, but
you do your homework
a little bit. Yeah. Poke around a little bit. Sometimes I miss things, but you got to get used to people saying like, "Why didn't you ask him about it?" Because you should have told it. Yeah, no,
no, it's got to be on your terms. But you're so initially your interviewing skills, your chops, were they developed on like Air America, or had did you have a good rapport, a conversation ability? Because I told you earlier before we went on that when we first started, our interviews kind of sounded like interrogations as opposed to just conversations. And when did this switch flip for you?
I think that's a style initially.
Yeah.
You want to get these moments. It was like the audio equivalent of clickbait.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. You're exactly right.
You kind of want to let's get them on this one. Like I don't do morning radio as much as I used to because I don't know what I'm walking into. I know you guys,
right.
But even phoners, you want to be on a phone with a bunch of monsters who are just looking to tear you down, and you've got no way to defend yourself because you're on a phone.
Yeah.
So. But my style really was more about inviting people I knew over to talk about my problems.
Yeah.
So having celebrities over to talk about my problems and maybe find some midway.
It's a disarming entree into a good conversation.
But I was in trouble. I was bitter. I was cynical. I had people I had to apologize to. But so it sort of evolved like that.
From like a 12-step almost.
Almost like I need to make an amends or like do you like me or like I'm not comfortable with you. But it was always very personal, and it just kind of evolved from there.
I know you've been dealing with nicotine withdrawal, and I wanted to ask you how that's going.
It's all right, man. Yeah. I think I'm coming through it. I think I'm at like 7 weeks, and I wasn't even smoking, man. I was doing those lozenges.
So that was the deal, huh?
I loved them. I haven't
Did you ever flirt with the vaping thing?
No.
Okay.
No. I knew right away that there had to be something wrong with
Something's going to be an issue.
Well, what's in it? How are they making that? Who's in charge?
That's the question.
I want to know if it's a kind of a well-known, historical cigarette company making me sick. These vapes. It's like, where's the goo coming from? What are you putting in there?
Where's your goo coming from?
If it's not Philip Morris or R.J. Reynolds, I don't want anything to do with that.
Chinese goo.
Chinese goo? What is it? How is that not going to be bad?
Well, why'd you start trying these lozenges? Who turned you on to that, or where'd you get the idea to do that?
Well, I've been wrestling with nicotine my whole life, but I haven't really smoked a cigarette in over a decade. So there was a period there. What happens with me is I got off the smokes. I think I had one cigarette during a Keith Richards interview, but I knew I was on the lozenges, and because he made me smoke with them.
All right,
of course,
Keith Richards,
and he's got a bit of charm when it comes to getting people to do things that are bad for you.
So we've heard,
he's done that to an entire generation, several, but no, and like I do the gum. It took me years to sort of quit, but then I kind of leveled off on lozenges. I was on gum for a while, but they're not good for your jaw. And then Tom Rhodes, another comic,
we've had him in. He's
great. Yeah, he turned me on to Walgreens cinnamon 4 milligram lozenges.
So cinnamon, okay. See, I was always the mint lozenge guy.
Yeah, no, I don't. And I don't do the mint. I don't mind them in a pinch. I'll do them.
Why cinnamon?
When you're an addict, you'll do anything. What do you got? The mini ones are too much for me. The little ones dissolve too quickly.
So were you in effect like chain sucking?
Yeah, for sure, man. Are you kidding? I loved it. I looked forward to them like cigarettes. So. But what happens to me is I'll get off everything like I am now, and then I'll decide, like, I think I can have a cigar.
Yeah.
And then I'll have a cigar, and then within 2 weeks, I'm having 2-3 cigars a day.
Yeah.
And I feel like my mouth is rotting. So then I got to get back on the lozenges to get off the cigars, and then I'm locked on those.
So you got to look at me because I'm the only one who's currently addicted to nicotine, and I 130% know exactly what you're talking about.
What are you on? Just the mints?
No. Now I'm on.
Oh, you're dipping? Yeah. The thing is, like with that, I've done that.
But but I'm not smoking.
But I'm not. I get it.
But my lungs are okay, Mark.
I get it. I mean, there was a period I was getting imported snus from like Norway or Sweden. Like someone got me involved with snus.
Yeah.
Which was I think Swedish, right? Originally. Yeah. But there's a whole catalog of 100 different snuses from Sweden, and they say like it doesn't cause cancer, which is ridiculous.
Spitting.
But I was ordering this stuff that was so strong, like it was like heroin.
Like, yes, Preston, thank you. This Friday, it's the 25th annual Fur Bowls for the Morris Animal Refuge. It's going to be the Bellevue Hotel, which is wonderful. We had it there, Preston, in 2019, and that was the last time we were able to do it. I am your MC for the evening. I'm going to be hanging out. So many great things happening. First off, you're going to benefit the Morris Animal Refuge, which is awesome. They do incredible work with helping animals in all sorts of conditions, and my wife and I swear by them. She's actually an honoree that night, which is very cool. But really, the focus is in on having a good time and giving you a chance to help donate. We're going to have Jake Matera, who is a great stand-up comedian and former intern on the Preston and Steve show. DJ Perry is going to keep the music going. Open bar. I've never heard of this, but it sounds cool. A guacamole bar, seafood stations, freshly prepared pastas, vegan and vegetarian options included in your ticket price. You have the 50-50 raffle, silent auction, and it all, as I said, and will continue to say, they do such great work at Morris Animal. If you're looking for something to do, it's this Friday. You can go to PrestonandSteve.com to get your tickets, and we'd love to see you there. It's from 7 to 11. Great way to spend a Friday evening.
Excellent. This weekend. Get on it Friday. Let's do the B-File. Here we go.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
All right, let's get into these stories. We're going to start with one. This is a weird one I do not understand, and maybe there will be a follow-up story to this, but it's very strange. A South Carolina man was fatally shot by a boater after he was rescued and allegedly became aggressive. So the guy that was shot and killed is the guy who was rescued.
Whoa.
All right, so Nathan Drew Morgan and an unnamed woman were thrown off their jet ski at Lake Cowee on Tuesday afternoon, and investigators believe that the pair may have been arguing before the incident. So a man and a woman on a pontoon boat nearby observed Morgan and the unnamed woman struggling in the water. Neither individual wore life jackets, and both showed signs of distress in the water. And according to police, The couple on the boat approached Morgan and the woman, and the two got on board as the unmanned jet ski continued to circle the lake. So it was still running.
Right.
And after boarding the boat, Morgan allegedly became agitated and began assaulting the couple that had just rescued him. Investigators have been told that the man may have wanted to get back to the jet ski. The female who was on the jet ski attempted to de-escalate the assault by pushing the man who had been on the jet ski back into the water. The couple on the pontoon boat then assisted Morgan back onto their boat a second time. Morgan allegedly began assaulting the couple again, and fearing for his and his wife's life, the man shot the guy.
Yeah.
The boat owner shot the dude that they pulled out of the water. Morgan died on the pontoon boat from a bullet wound to the chest. The sheriff's deputies were dispatched to reports of a shooting. The investigation is ongoing, and all parties involved are cooperating.
I don't think I would have let the guy on the second time. I would have maybe put a line over the side and said, you hang here.
Yeah, I don't know, man,
Jesus.
but that's weird. We need to find out what the hell was going on there. Let's also find out what's going on here. A Florida man found himself in a bit of a pickle. Well, actually, he was arrested for pleasuring himself on private property, which including inserting a pickle into a certain part of his
Really?
body. Yes.
Pickle butt.
Eric Dietige of Tampa was charged Sunday with exposure of sexual organs. The arresting officer was at the time responding to reports of a suspicious person. He ultimately found Dietige on private premises, lying flat on his back, no pants or undergarments on his bottom half.
Can you help me with this pickle?
Dietige had apparently his unit in one hand and a large uneaten pickle in his other hand, and was using that pickle to plug the gap, so to speak.
So you eat it after?
I don't know. It depends on what you're into, man. For a guy like this, yes,
Yeah, sure.
absolutely. You're not going to let that go to waste.
That's a good pickle.
He was arrested. It was his thing. All right, this is a terrible, terrible story and a horrible death to report. But a Canadian man died horrifically after he was pulled into a wood chipper in the middle of a suburban street. Daniel Van Heist, 22 years old, had been removing trees in Oshawa near Toronto on Wednesday morning when the tragic accident unfolded. A traumatized resident actually saw what happened. He was filming the crew disposing of tree branches at the exact moment that Van Heist got caught up in the chipper. He said, I saw his feet leave the ground. It was that quick. Oh, my God. He went in head first. Oh, horrible. He said that he rushed over to help after seeing Van Heist's coworker run to turn the wood chipper off, and it's unclear how he got pulled into the machine. He was pronounced dead at the scene. The victim was a contract worker and had only just started working that particular removal job that week. The state's labor ministry is investigating. That's horrible.
Like, you think of the ways they could prevent that, and I don't know, like on a treadmill or something. If you attach a clip and if you fall off, it disengages.
Yep.
You know, if you could put an arbitrary stake in the ground and have connectors that would disconnect and start, because these stories pop up now and then. It's like, what? It's the worst way to die.
Yep. An Indian teen is lucky to be alive after tumbling out of bed and falling headfirst onto a sickle, which became lodged gruesomely in his noggin.
Oh, my God.
The freak accident occurred Wednesday after Bupu Sen, 16 years old, left the agricultural implement used for harvesting crops on the floor and subsequently forgot it was there as his bedroom light wasn't working. The sleeping youngster rolled out of bed and onto the reaping tool's curved blade, which embedded itself 1.5 inches into his skull. Despite the graphic nature of the wound, he reportedly didn't experience any bleeding.
Sickle.
So they left it in there.
Oh, my God.
And so, therefore, we're looking at a picture of him, and he's sitting there with this giant blade sticking out of his head.
I have a headache.
The impaired boy was rushed to the hospital where doctors performed a CAT scan and then transferred him into the surgery ward. Doctors managed to remove Bupo's accidental piercing after a 3-hour operation.
So even an inch and a half is still a lot.
Yeah. And when last reported, the boy was resting after the traumatic ordeal, and he claims he's not in any pain. All right, this is messed up, too. I got a lot of messed up ones.
I like them.
A Wisconsin judge has sentenced a young man convicted of murder of both of his parents to life in prison without any opportunity for extended supervision. A jury convicted Chandler Halderson, who had just turned 24, on 2 counts of first-degree intentional homicide. Now, prosecutors said Halderson lied to his parents about working for a local insurance company and with a local rescue dive team while he was really just living at home and playing video games during the day.
How did he pull that off?
He even told that his girlfriend had secured he told his girlfriend he had secured a job with Elon Musk's SpaceX, but authorities allege that he tried to cover for a lie.
Well, you have a very impressive pretend resume here.
By lying about sustaining a head injury, which he said necessitated the cancellation of a planned move to Florida.
You're just the kind of the employee we're looking for.
And when his lies caught up with him, a jury agreed with prosecutors, Halderson shot his father, Bart, and then killed his mother, Krista, when she had returned home. The June 2021 killings involved an alleged cover story. Halderson claims that his parents took off for a lake retreat in Wisconsin's North Woods around the 4th of July and never returned. That, prosecutors said, was a lie, and the jury convicted the defendant as charged.
Jeez.
But rather than, they confronted him about not having a job, staying in the basement, playing video games.
I think I'll kill you.
He killed him. Yeah, that is just absolutely
getting a job.
Yep, messed up. All right, and that's all we have time for today, my friend, in the Bizarre File. When we come back, we'll see how closely you've been listening to the show as a lesson question awaits, and we have trash music news and a concert announcement on top of all that, too. So we'll be back with it all. Stay with us.
Butter spray.
Is that what?
I
no,
can't
not
believe it's
spray,
not
not
butter.
spray.
There's an actual like liquid, almost
Really?
like
liquidy
the way you
butter.
dispense mustard.
It was
don't
more
remember
back in the 80s, probably. And if you had a waffle, you could go blink, 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 blink in each little.
If I had a waffle,
each little
I'd eat it
crevice.
in the morning.
Yeah,
there we go.
You
Parkway.
need butter in every little square?
You do.
If you're
you're a man.
If you're a man. No.
Okay.
No, I obsess about little things like that.
Okay.
It's just like weird.
So your answer is yes, you do.
Yeah, I have a butter memory with Preston that is probably 19 years old. Do you know what it is?
memories.
Butter memory.
Preston, do you remember the butter memory?
That's probably 19 years old.
19 years old.
memories.
You would have to butter memories. You would have to give me a hint.
Me, you, Steve, and Marilyn.
Wow.
that wraps it up.
Butterfest,
We did a show
1998.
for 3 years together.
Media Court Diner.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
You know the butter memory?
Yeah.
Oh, well, do tell.
So we're sitting there, and it's after we had done a show, and we're having lunch, and there was
We're all just getting to know each other, by the way.
yeah, we're all getting to know each other, and so they had a little ramekin full of butter, which is a small dish. And so I guess it was a ball of butter or something like that. And we're just talking, and I just reach out and grab it and just squish it with my hand, just to be outrageous,
provocative.
I'm like, ooh, butter.
Yeah.
And I did that, and he died laughing.
I was like, what? I wish I would have done that.
At first sight.
That looked fun.
Butter memories.
But if I owned a diner and
I dine in the morning,
and I was serving waffles, there would be a special little spray that I would put melted butter in so that you could go.
You would keep it like you could even have it as you could have the way you have a mug warmer where your butter could be on it and with the pump so that you could dispense that
Now
way.
it would need to be more like misty,
like a fire hose.
No, like
a spray bottle.
Like a spray bottle, like you would spray your indoor plants.
Like a spritz.
I disagree. I think that the butter, like the spray butter, you're lessening the quality of the butter product. And if you're going to have like actual butter, you're going to need to have like a vat of melted butter. This is your diner, so I'm not trying to tell you how to run your business.
You open your own diner next door.
I'll do your own goddamn
normal, boring pats of
I
butter.
kind of want to work with you, like almost like as if I was your therapist, and to make you okay with not having butter in every square. Like it's all right.
No, I know.
It's still going to taste good. You're going to get enough butter.
Believe me, I've
Touchstone Pictures. He had to have butter in every square until a concerned therapist came into his life. My name is Romano. I think I can help you.
Then we need some good music, like
yes,
Peter
inspiring.
Gabriel,
Salisbury Hill.
Salisbury Hill. Yeah. See if you can pull that. So the serious part when he realizes he has a problem.
Oh no, I can't even get it together anymore. Every time I go into the diner, I start trembling like crazy. I think I know someone you can talk to. And then she came into his life. My name's Romano, and today's the day we start making changes. From Touchstone Pictures, the story of a boy who learned now how to not have butter in every square of his waffle. Butter Squareless Waffle Boy.
Butter Squareless Waffle Boy?
Or something to that effect.
It's a butter therapist.
I feel like I already went through this with Jace. Like at breakfast time. It's okay, honey.
Unbutterable.
Is that the name of the movie?
Yeah.
I'm doing it!
I heard recently that isn't even, I mean, just the old, sneaking the look at your next door neighbor's paper is not necessarily the chosen form of cheating these days, because so much stuff is done online now that students are using Google Docs quite a bit to cheat with.
All the time.
Yeah.
And so now they're trying to make, in fact, they've said they've noticed a general increase in grades that they believe is artificially manipulated.
Really?
And so much so that Google itself has stepped up and has, like I'm looking at an article here, they're trying to set up ways to prevent Google Docs being used for cheating.
So here's the way I understand that this works, and if I'm wrong, please tell me.
Yeah.
We've got students here, we've got strippers that know the answers as well, because Victoria was chiming in on this while we were off air. That if someone takes a test in a class before you, that you're going to have that same class, and they therefore can get that exact exam that you're about to take and send that to you before you take the exam. Is that kind of the way it works? Is that what I understand?
You know who knows?
Ben knows. Ben, come in here.
Ben. Here.
Intern Ben, we're going to get him on the mic. And by the way, Ben, are you currently a student?
Yes, I go to Temple University right now. I've been there for 3 years now.
Okay. All right. So what I was just saying, I know you guys are busy in the other room there. When someone is taking an exam, they can take that exam and give it to someone else who has that same test later on in the day. Is that how it works?
So it totally depends, but like a lot of the times, it will just be on your laptop in class, and it's impossible to govern everyone's laptop, as you can imagine.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
You all right? Had to run in.
He's a little nervous.
I was wondering why you talk like that. And actually, it's the thing is the Google documents.
I've talked to Ben many times. I've never heard his voice quite like that before.
It's as we matriculate through the process of the Temple University. We're, of course, enriched by the learning that we have.
So I guess.
Poor kid, you poor kid.
I guess no. Ben doesn't talk like that.
Come on here with us.
We just pulled him in by. It's not his fault. It's not his fault.
Off guard. That's all.
Okay. So Ben, I guess what Preston's asking is,
Let's start over.
How does the document get disseminated to everyone who's looking to cheat off that original document?
So you can have a Google Doc open on your laptop in like a separate tab, and then you can send it to anybody that has like a Google email. And of course, our school uses Google for everything.
So you can have the Google Doc, I guess, open on a different browser. Right. And just sort of toggle between the two, the test and the Google Doc test, Google Doc. I don't know. Gabby's here as well. She's also a student. You know.
What's your take on it?
Yes.
Stop it. I'm just kidding. Poor Ben. We pull him in while he's trying to do other work. So
What's your take on it, Gabby?
Yeah. So if you're in a group, just like in a group, when you're doing one of your assignments, you obviously have everybody's email. So you can set up this Google Doc where you can share everything that you do. So even if you're in one class earlier and you have a friend that's in the next class later in the day, you can just share that document with other people in other classes.
Okay. And Victoria, were you the student? Did you do this or hear about this happening as well? Yes. Why is your mic not on? I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yes. So when I was in school, it was just super easy. First of all, the website is pretty, like, once you get it down, it's super easy to use. And yes, sharing is so easy, and it's so easy to communicate on there amongst many people.
Did anyone ever flow? I mean, because they're saying that it's actually and Google has actually had to step in to give teachers ways to fight this. Do you know anyone who's ever cheated using the system?
Well, that's what I was going to ask.
I would say.
Actually, no, I'm not aware.
Ben has something to say about the Apple Watches.
Yes.
So not about the Apple Watch, but I do have a story we can go into.
Okay, please do.
So in high
Make it a long
school,
one.
I went to a tech school. So I was in the computer programming, obviously.
Right, yeah.
Obviously.
So, but we figured out a way to cheat on the learning guides, which is like our little exercises to learn how to program. But the teacher caught wind of this.
Yeah.
So for a month, every student had to handwrite all their code.
Oh, God.
Because we were cheating, which is like for Java and HTML, that's awful.
That's crazy. That's all little symbols.
We had to handwrite all of it, then we had to type it up, and that was like his way to prevent us from cheating. And I was pissed because I wasn't cheating. I was the one actually doing it right. Because
This
all
is
the other students were.
outlandish. This is absolutely outlandish. I'm going to take you outside and kick your ass.
Did you rat everybody out because you weren't
What am
cheating?
I, a monk? This is ridiculous.
No, Casey, I was trying to be cool.
No. But so that's how long did it take to take a test like that?
Well, for what would take 5 minutes on the computer was about 25 on the paper.
Jesus.
Just because you got to remember the symbols, you got to scribble them or whatever.
Just you have to talk through them. Just keep
This
talking.
is the goddamn dumbest thing I've ever heard. It's goddamn ridiculous.
25 on the paper.
No, but I mean, to write, he's talking about writing code is in all symbols and intense stuff. It's,
Preston, get yourself together.
I can't. Steve being outrageous bad is killing me. Pretty Reckless on 93.3 WMMR, Death by Rock and Roll. Of course, Sam, Pretty Reckless, one of the bands playing the MMR barbecue. It's going to be Saturday, May 21st. Royal Blood, we played new music for them earlier this morning. Disturbed will be there. Living Color. I'm very excited to see Loconic Robot, Lilazar, Jackson's Local Shots Artist, Huxley. Those tickets and the T-shirts on sale now, WMMR.com. That's where you get all the details. So get them, join us, done deal. Today's lesson question prize is a 4-pack of tickets in the Bevy Long Drink Party Zone when the Philadelphia Wings face off against the Buffalo Bandits on Thursday, March 31st. So you get this 4-pack of tickets, you go, and you're going to be in that Bevy Long Drink Party Zone. If you can tell me the answer to this. What free treats are they giving away at upcoming live performances on Broadway? That's if they have to cancel, right?
Yeah,
if they have to cancel mid-performance, they give away something for free to make you happy. What is that? 215-263-WMMR. What free treats are they giving away at upcoming live performances on Broadway? If you heard it earlier this morning, you should call. You just might win. We'll do the trash while we're waiting for that call.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
Brought to you by 80 Moyer Lumber. Trusted expert since 1939. 80 Moyer Lumber is your professional source for decks, windows, doors, kitchens, millwork, and more. Visit them on the web at admoyer.com. What's up this morning, Steve?
well, Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck dropping $50 million on a 25,000 square foot estate in the ritzy Bel Air area of Los Angeles. The house is reportedly so big that you can't use the intercom without entering an area code.
Hey!
Britney Spears is back on Instagram 2 days after announcing she was leaving. As of Saturday, Britney was again posting the kind of pictures and video that make you wonder if that conservatorship is really such a bad idea.
Oh my God.
And finally, Shark Tank star Damon John calling the NCAA tournament modern-day slavery. Damon later admitted that he lost a ton of money on the Kentucky game.
Oh.
And that's your...
All right, we shall see if we can find an answer to the lesson question. And we need to know what free treats they are giving away at upcoming live performances on Broadway. 215-263-WMMR. First caller in is Jason, so that's who we're going to. Yo, Jason, good morning. Godzooks, Jason. All right, what are they giving away as free treats at live performances on Broadway?
Delicious Raisinets.
Yes, sir. Hang on, Jason. We got you. 4-pack of tickets in the Bevy Long Drink Party Zone when the Philadelphia Wings face off against the Buffalo Bandits. And that's Thursday, March 31st. You can enjoy discounted drinks, lawn games, and giveaways in the Party Zone while standing turf level, just feet away from the action. And tickets for the Party Zone are $27 and available only at wingslax.com.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
Brought to you this morning by New Jersey Transit. The all-new Transit Police Department reminds you that we all need to work together to keep our transit system safe Report suspicious activity to 1-800-TIPS-NJT, or you can text your report to NJTPD. We're going to start with a concert announcement. How about this?
Very exciting.
All right, so this show is going to be on a Friday. That's always a wonderful thing. September 23rd. And that's usually a pretty damn good month to be watching some music outdoors. It's going to be at the Waterfront Music Pavilion. MMR rocks the Outlaw Music Festival. Now, who's on the Outlaw Music Festival? Well, we'll start by telling you that Mr. Willie Nelson will be performing. Will Butler has parted ways with Arcade Fire, a band which he helped found. He shared the news via Twitter on Saturday, just before the band show at the Bowery Ballroom in New York City, writing, "I left at the end of last year after the new record was complete. There was no acute reason beyond that I've changed, and the band has changed over the last almost 20 years. Time for new things." I explained that he is working on a new solo recording with composing music for a play, and he added that the band are still my friends and family. So he's gone.
Yeah, his brother is Win Butler. He's the founder of the band.
Yep,
Yeah,
correct. Yep. Dave Grohl's metal album that he had recorded with the fictional band Dream Widow is due out this month. According to Variety, the album is due out on March 25th. And in the Foo Fighters horror comedy film Studio 666, the band moves into an Encino mansion to record their much-anticipated 10th album. Once in the house, Grohl finds himself grappling with supernatural forces related to the studio's former residence, Dream Widow, that band, that threaten both the completion of the album and the lives of Foo Fighters. On the LP, he said it'll be the lost album. It'll be the album that they were making before he killed the entire band. He said some of it sounds like doom metal pioneers' Trouble. Some of it sounds like Corrosion of Conformity, and some of it has a... I forgot the name of that band. KYUSS, Kayas vibe.
Kayak?
I've seen that. Kayak. I've seen that written before, that band, and I'm just never have been into that band, and I never have known how to pronounce that name.
So this is the fictional band in the 666.
Dream Widow is.
Yeah.
But not the KYUSS. They're a real band. Nick, could you look that up and see how that's pronounced, if you will, please? Kayas. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't you try us?
Kayak. We're Kayas.
Why don't you
We ask that you try us. All right. Bastardane, featuring drummer Castor Hatfield. 21-year-old son of Metallica's James Hetfield has released its debut album, and it is titled Is This Rage? The 10-track collection by the Savannah, Georgia-based trio also includes vocalist-bassist Jake Dallas and guitarist Ethan Siratsky.
What's the name of the band?
They are called Bastardane. It's all one word.
Bastard!
So the band collectively describe themselves as, "We are Bastardane, and we are not some average chump white male band looking to get laid. There is a time in every generation when music is the guiding light out of hard times. We just want to make emotionally empowering music that isn't trying to cater to a certain audience. Our career is about making people happy and fulfilling the emotional needs of those who can't tolerate words alone.
So that's the mission statement of Bastardane.
I guess so. They look mad. We're looking at pictures.
Very
of them.
upset.
They look angry.
We are so upset with the way the world is going. We are Bastardane.
Yep.
Your stupid edicts mean nothing to us. We spit on you. By the way, is there a place convenient to park? Because we got to get our stuff in.
Bastardane is set to appear May 27, 28, and 29 at Metallica's co-headlining edition of the Bottle Rock.
Hi, this is Castor of Bastardine. Could you send up some more pillows and some...
No.
And a robe.
And a robe, please, yeah.
That'll be in Napa Valley, by the way.
What time is the jacuzzi open till?
And then finally, we're going to end with a rock and roll story. Although Paul McCartney never played his iconic Hofner violin Beatle bass in concert with Wings in the 1970s, another rock legend actually did, and that was Robert Plant. Plant recalled joining Paul on stage for the December 29th, 1997 final show of the Concerts for People of Kampuchea. And Plant, who had performed Elvis Presley's Little Sister earlier in the night, backed by Rockpile, featuring Dave Edmunds and Nick Lowe, was part of the McCartney Massive show closing Rockestra miniset, which also featured John Bonham, Pete Townsend, and Kenny Jones, among many others. Now, Plant remembered the gig and playing the famed Beatle bass, and he said in an interview, when we were doing that concert, with this huge Star Spangled Band, he gave me his Hofner bass to wear. It is the beautiful bass, the one that we know from all those songs and photographs. And I was miming my way furiously when the strap broke. And I thought that was it.
What did you do?
He said,
You broke it! You idiot!
Paul turns into a rage monster.
God damn you! I want you dead! Kill him!
Like the sweetest man alive, just absolutely turns on
I want to
him.
see it descend.
You're a moron!
Oh, look at you. You look so great.
Oh, my God. The idea of Paul.
Jesus Christ!
Just losing it completely.
What are you, stupid? Survived decades, and you broke it!
It's not the Paul I know.
Had a bad day.
Yeah, we all have a mean side, you know?
Just yelling at him in front of thousands of people and screaming into the microphone. He's not like going over and pulling him aside. He's just dressing him down in front of all those people.
I don't care about the compa-cheapy-cheapies, whatever I'm playing for.
He said, I thought that after the strap broke, he said, I thought that was it. I was so close to getting on with this guy. And then he said, then it was great. It was actually very funny. I think the strap was ready to go anyway. But he said, I know Bonzo, meaning John Bonham, who was drumming behind me, was in stitches. He was cracking up.
That would be funny.
And he said, what could you do that was really S other than break the Beatles' bass? He went on to say, I have tremendous respect for Paul and the fact that his work will never be over. Also, that he didn't bear a grudge after that. So
Well, it's just a strap. It's not like you
right, yeah, he didn't like drop it and
Right.
it shattered on stage in front of him or something like that. But it's pretty funny. All right, and there you go. That's what I have in music news. All right, let's take a break and come back in a second. We'll wrap up the program. We'll hand it over to Pierre, and then we'll send you on to MMR Madness, which starts today. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Forgot about me. Okay,
I'm
anyways.
sorry, Victoria.
No, it's okay. It's just so funny. I'm listening to how like far people will go to like actually cheat. And I went to a really good school, and we would literally cheat in groups, and the teachers had no idea. That's how
No
oblivious.
idea.
I guess they were just paid so well that like I swear they didn't care.
Do you think there's some credence to the fact that schools who rely on, how the school's performing would allow this to happen to
I guess to keep up with
their
the
reviews
standard
and
or
stuff like
whatever.
that?
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
conceivable.
I went to a really good school, so like I guess like high test scores were like super important.
So it's
And-
plausible deniability, right? That you can say, okay, they're just getting good grades.
And what's funny enough, in ninth grade, I actually had a social studies teacher that would literally grade you on like if he liked you or not. Like we would write what we had for breakfast on like literally I would write the most ridiculous answers and some of them would be right and some of them would be wrong. I swear this man graded you on whether he liked you or not, or maybe your outfit that day. Like I swear
bet
he
you
didn't
did
care.
very well.
Yes, being stunningly gorgeous helps too.
I passed, by the way. And he met us. Like, he was a G. He was awesome.
What's going on over here? Just because she's super hot, she passes? I'm here writing goddamn code. My fingers are falling off. She talks about having egos and she gets an A+.
You're a good sport, Ben.
That was an outrage, frankly. Goddamn, sounds like I have a rheumatoid arthritis writing all this code. And over here, she says she had a Pop-Tart for breakfast. She has an A+.
I love when you threaten to kick their ass.
Outside now, I'm going to put my foot so far up your ass, you're going to see my big toe coming out your nose.
Oh, my God.
All right, we have to wrap this up.
Oh, we do? Okay.
Yeah,
All right. No. Officials are working to contain a scabies outbreak.
No. What the hell?
This is at Radnor Middle School and one student from Radnor Elementary School, yeah. Yep.
Scabies.
And at least 18 students were diagnosed with the infectious disease.
Okay, what is scabies?
It's a rash.
Okay.
Isn't that... Wait, okay. Scabies isn't crabs?
Well, it is caused by a mite. A little creature.
Okay.
But they normally it's not visible to the naked eye. But it's not It's not crabs.
It's not okay.
It's not like
but
crotch
do you get it down there?
You can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If
so
you're lucky.
The scabies will burrow under the skin and lay eggs.
Oh God.
An itchy rash consisting of raised tracts, bumps, or blisters may appear on parts of the body, including between fingers, wrists, elbows, armpits, waistline, thighs, and genitalia.
Including the nutsack.
Yes, probably.
Yeah.
Well, there
all the little crevices and cracks.
Yeah.
They lay their
Ball
eggs.
sacks are yummy.
I remember in high school there was an outbreak in our school, but it was everyone who was getting it down there.
Yeah. And so it seems like it's few and far between that we have scabies outbreaks. I always consider that one of those bizarre peripheral things like scurvy and gout.
There was that, the guy that I told you about that wanted to go halfsies on the fleshlight?
Oh, yeah. And by the way, again, take that in. Nick knows someone who wanted to go halvesies on a fleshlight.
Yeah.
God, I hate him.
Yeah, me too. I love him, but I hate him. But there was an outbreak of it in college.
Is this guy an Elvis impersonator by any chance?
No. But he was at the Nationals game last night. But he was in college. He got scabies, and he got it through sexual contact. And so we would make fun of him incessantly afterwards. And the way that we'd make fun of him was just by saying, scabies every time we would walk by. But yeah, he got it through sexual contact with a very dirty girl.
Okay, all right. By the way, Steve, you mentioned scurvy. Scurvy, I read the other day, is making a comeback.
Of course.
It's all the rage.
Because of like fasting diets and things like that.
Oh,
People
that's
are not,
awesome.
They're not getting the vitamin C that they
All right,
need,
what
I
is
guess.
that?
We thought we'd missed out on it, Preston, because we weren't able to take the trip to the New World.
Yeah, it's a vitamin C deficiency, and it can make you really, really sick.
And like fruit and stuff like that was how you fought it, right?
Yep.
And leprosy, we learned, is making a comeback.
That's where the term limeys came from, is when the English would travel, they would load up all these limes to try and keep scurvy away. Hang on a second. Maddie has scabies, and Kathy's going to leave the room now. She doesn't even want to be on the phone with somebody with scabies. Hey, how you doing, Maddie?
Good. I had scabies.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Oh, it says actually has scabies.
Yes,
Okay.
I had scabies, and it was horrible. I think I got it on the Appalachian Trail because there was no STD thing going on.
Yep. Okay. So it's interesting that you mentioned that, and that's possibly where this particular outbreak came from. But I'll get into those details in a moment. How bad did it get for you?
It was horrible, dude. Every fold in your skin on your body, they burrow into and they lay eggs, and there's these little tunnels. It's horrible. And
You're laughing as you're talking about scabies tunnels.
yes,
Yeah.
these tunnels. They're under your skin, in your knuckles and the creases of your finger.
die.
So, Maddie,
in your junk too.
In your junk. Okay, we're looking at a picture. You're right, Maddie. It says skin condition caused by burrowing mite.
And they lay the eggs in there, yeah.
They lay the eggs. It was horrible. They gave me this poison that I had to rub all over my body.
Yep.
And I had to wait like an hour and let it like seep in. And then blistering caused. There's like blistering afterwards.
Maddie, let me ask you: did they make the trip down to your junk? Did you have it around that region?
They were anywhere there's a fold or a crease. There is burrowing mite.
And not for anything. Go ahead.
Here's the reason why it spreads like that. The incubation period is like 2 to 6 weeks.
Oh my God!
Before the itching even occurs, so it gets all over your body. These
and you
things,
don't know yet.
And like you said, Maddie, listen. It says the doctor in this story said you apply this cream. It's a topical prescription from scalp to toes. Every part of the body.
Everywhere, and it burns.
And then you have to sleep overnight with it on. They said it needs to be on for 8 to 10 hours for it to work properly. Yeah.
Do you have to put it in the butthole?
Oh, my God.
You put it everywhere, Preston.
Okay.
Thank you for clearing your throat.
Do you have to put it butthole?
No, I'm a 40-year-old man, and I had it when I was like 30, and I had to have my mother rub the cream on my back.
Well, you didn't have to.
Yeah, I would have.
I mean, can you
Like, who else am I going to ask?
I don't know.
Thanks, Maddie. I appreciate it.
Maybe like a girlfriend or wife.
Somebody who could put it in your
mother. I have to go over to my 30-year-old single son and rub ointment in his ass.
That is horrifying.
Yeah, that's nasty.
I did not realize the burrowing was an issue. That that adds a whole other realm of hell to it. I always thought it was a slightly bit more benign, but it does sound very similar to genital crabs.
So they said the outbreak was caused by a camping trip that some of the students attended.
Oh, they went to Whore Island.
The doctor said they all hung out together, which is the typical story for scabies. Some of the kids, we did see a few of them, and that, that most likely it was just because they were all in close contact with each other. They were camping.
Oh, yeah.
And that's when the whores come in.
It's true. So sleeping bags and things of that nature and camping tents, it's a confined space.
I've had a few texts come in, and also it looked like a call had been up as well. Were you guys familiar with chiggers?
Yeah. Chiggers, yes.
Yeah. Growing up I lived in the South for a little while, and we would always warn about, those look like chigger bites. Which were painful. I mean, because you could scratch them until they bled almost. I mean, as a kid, it was just it itched so much you wouldn't stop scratching.
That's why that park went out of business at Chiggerland.
Yeah, no, that's Digger World.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm thinking of. But anyhow, I don't know if they're the same.
They're related, I guess.
Are they?
Yeah, they're also mites. They're just different kind of mites.
Chiggers, I always assumed were a little bit bigger.
I don't know. Mites, I guess, you can't really see them.
No, these ones are called trombiculid mites.
Okay.
Which are different than the scabies mites.
By the way, there are little creatures all over your body all the time, Kathy.
I plan on it.
Well, stop it.
Like in your hair follicles?
Not constantly. Oh, crawling in and out of all sorts of orifices.
No, not mine.
And then, of course, they have to defecate.
Right. Oh, my God. I mean, they are alive.
I mean, and so all over your body, there's little recesses where they're crapping.
Right.
And then having sex.
Interesting.
In your own body.
Growing up, my dogs would get fleas all the time.
By the time we get to around, like 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Wonderful.
And, sunny skies. So nice, clear blue sky to be your companion today. Tomorrow, 63, partly cloudy, not too bad. And then 55, we got a chance for some light rain on Wednesday. That's a high, 55 on Wednesday. And then we'll be at the low 60s again after that. But today's a wonderful day, so enjoy it if you have the opportunity to do so. I would like to thank Mr. Michael Yo for being on the program. Michael's great. He has a new comedy special, which he has put out, paid for, done all himself. It's on YouTube. And he's a really funny guy.
And a new series on Apple Plus, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Bonnie Hunt.
So he was pretty excited about that. It was good to talk to him. But you can just go to michaelyo.com and you can find all the information you need. And then we made a concert announcement, so I'll just reiterate that. It's the Outlaw Music Festival. Willie Nelson, Chris Stapleton, Zach Bryan, Larkin Poe, and others are going to be performing Friday, September 23rd at the Waterfront Music Pavilion, and tickets are on sale this Friday at 10 a.m. via Ticketmaster.com. And you can win tickets this weekend. We have a chance to grab those, which is pretty cool. Pierre Robert is here, back from a weekend. How you doing, man?
Good. Larkin Poe can finally go record shopping with Jackie.
Yeah. Are they friends?
Well, he has an ID from them, and it has the two ladies of Larkin Poe introducing themselves and saying who they are and what band they're in. And you know what? When we come to Philly, we're definitely going record shopping with Jackie Bam Bam.
Oh, okay.
And for the year and a half that we've been playing them, or however long it's been, they haven't been able to tour. So now they're touring and record shopping.
All right.
Got to do it.
I'm thinking.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. How was your weekend, man?
Fine, thank you. Fine,
Wonderful.
thank you.
Excellent.
And I heard you, going through the rundown of the A to Z.
No, not the A to Z, the MMR Madness?
Right, same thing.
Yeah, same thing.
Right, and very similar in construction and structure. And so are we going against each other today? Yes,
We are. Bon Jovi and Motley Crue.
Yeah, so Steve gave me a little flap mocking Bon Jovi. I heard that. And then you gave me a little grief on angering with Guns N' Roses.
Uh-huh.
And I don't have any anger against Guns N' Roses. I just quietly don't decide to support them by playing them.
Yes, absolutely.
I wish him all the best and them all the best. Peace and love.
Yeah. How long's that been going on now?
I don't have any anger towards them. I don't, but on the other hand, there are products I don't buy because I don't support that company.
Okay. Yeah. I was just curious how long your band has been in place now. 15 years?
You were in the other room. I don't have anger against him. However, I just don't support what he did to Philly, and so
it's legit.
I know.
It's not. I truly don't have anger towards him, but I don't feel like I should support somebody that effed over the city. Having said that, that's a policy decision. There are products that I don't buy because I don't like the way that company operates in society or in their corporate structure or the way they treat their employees or any number of things. So I don't buy products from that company. That's all. Similar thing.
Okay. I was just curious how long it's been.
I don't know.
It was 20 years ago.
Wow.
The no-show at the Wells Fargo Center, 2002.
But it was years after that you guys came here and that you were talking about it and Rabbi was raving about it and I was sitting in the other room. And
that's where Flaming Turd comes out.
That's where that came.
And I
Okay.
sit, and
but
that's
that
all I can stand because I can't stand
stands no more.
Right, yeah, that no-show was December 6th, 2002, and then the Preston and Steve show started at MMR in 2005, so that ran, it was probably 2006 or 2007.
Yeah.
Okay. But and it's the case with all these.
And your subtle subtext is that I'm petty for doing this.
No. No.
And that's okay, because here's the deal with this A to Z. Whatever band I champion is going down in flames. So
is that the track record?
If there's anything I'm angry about, it's whatever I like is never going to win.
Then go in subtly.
There's no subtlety.
Because
Whatever
everyone knows.
I campaign for just sinks faster than the Titanic. And so I just will throw it to the masses. I'm going to say that I like I don't know. Never mind. But whatever it doesn't make any difference.
How about Rupert Holmes?
I'm going to go Rupert Holmes for the gold.
There you go.
Wouldn't it be wild? Now, if we put Rupert Holmes in this,
of course he'd win.
He would win.
Of course he'd win.
He would win.
Now, it was his birthday a couple of weeks ago, and I effing played him. And then Bill in a meeting said, "Why did you really have to play him?" And I go, "It's become a thing now and a joke." So where I wouldn't play GNR, I would play Rupert Holmes.
We should actually.
You don't want to get inside this.
that list is the REO Speedwagon.
Oh, yeah.
Keep on rolling.
Roll with the changes.
Roll with the changes.
That's a good song, though.
Yeah.
That just hit number 1 last week, in fact.
We should
in
do
19 something or other.
We should do some sort of a bracket system down the road.
The best of our adopted
Sing-alongs.
songs, yes.
Yeah.
Could we do the worst songs of all time? A to Z?
There's another one.
That's Bob Seger.
Fraternity party.
A fraternity party was nothing but dudes, and I was hammered, and I thought that would be a great song to get the party going. And so I was with like these guys who were huge Iron Maiden fans and Metallica fans. I was like, you got to put on Bob Seger. we got tonight.
The slowest song ever written.
And
I was feeling sappy and sentimental, and so I put this on, and everybody in the room wanted to murder me. And so I told that story. Now this song has become.
Let's do this. Here we go.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
All right, and the Preston and Steve show is brought to you today by the letter
L as in loser.
All right, and
that's
our,
me. I'm a loser.
That's our first.
I'm a beautiful loser, though. Speaking of Bob Seger, which goes nicely into Traveling Man.
It's a great song.
Yeah.
That's our first letter for the Word of the Week prize, which is a pair of lower-level tickets for both Roger Waters concerts, Friday, August 5th and Saturday, August 6th. At Wells Fargo Center. Yep. Roger Waters. This is not a drill tour. Tickets are on sale now for both shows via WellsFargoCenterPhilly.com. So obviously got MMR Madness. Anything else you want to hit besides that today?
We'll have time for one workforce block between our noon running of Shinedown against Dirty Honey and our 1 p.m. Bon Jovi against Motley Crue. I'm going for Crue all the way.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Crue. Hair, style, drugs, tight pants, Botox. Where was I? Oh,
I don't know.
Oh, and in between those two, I'll do a block of Dire Straits.
Wonderful.
I love Dire Straits.
Thank you.
All right, I want to thank our sponsors. President Steve Show is brought to you today by A.D. Moyer Lumber, trusted expert since 1939. Your professional source for decks, windows, doors, kitchens, millwork, and more. Also, Dunkin', the official coffee of the President Steve Show, and Acme Markets. Get your free flu shot or COVID-19 booster at their pharmacy. Acme, fresh foods, local flavors. Well, Tuesday got real interesting. Tomorrow, we'll give away a free tattoo, as we always do, but also Jeff Foxworthy will be on the show.
Wow.
Lewis Black will be on the program.
Nice. What the?
And a comedic actor by the name of Jim Pittick will be joining us. You know him from the Christopher Guest movies. In, say, Best in Show, he's kind of the straight man that's doing the play-by-play.
With Fred Willard.
With Fred Willard. Yeah. And he's also had other characters, but he is he does comedy, acting, but he usually plays this kind of straight character.
Yeah.
He's got a book out, and he'll be joining us, which is pretty cool. So we'll have those guests and more to get to tomorrow. That's it. We're done. Rage on. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow, gang. Bye-bye.